Hello, everybody! Welcome to today's Kids on Bikes stream. I am your game master, Jeremy Cobb, pronouns he, him, and I'm joined by an incredible cadre of players. We're going to start with the top on my screen. Leah, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
I'm Leah. My pronouns are she, her. I might be better known by my business, which is Greenleaf Geek. I am a dice maker and seller. And today I will be playing the seasoned babysitter, Libby, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Wonderful. And moving right down, Lauren, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content manager over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on the socials, but it's not really that important. She, her. And tonight I'm going to be playing someone. Who am I playing? I've totally forgotten already. It's a charity stream. I'm playing Angela. Angela, she, her, who is a mathlete, which that I remembered because that was way more important because math is way more important than names.
Yeah, frankly, letters only matter if they're being employed in algebra.
Or Roman numerals.
Exactly. Moving right along, Friday, would you please introduce yourself and your character?
Hi, I'm Friday. I guess I'm a tabletop game designer, and I am also a producer for Middle Leaf Games, so I run my own company and I also work for them. And my character today is Jesse Gelfie, which I didn't realize that I was going to pick a character name the same as the producer, so I apologize for any confusion that this causes. But she is she's a jock wrestler.
Awesome. Candace, could you please introduce yourself and your character? I can't currently hear you. I think you might be muted. And well, now you're not saying anything. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Every time. I even started this saying, I'm not muted. Anyway, hi, my name is Candace. I was muted. My pronouns are they, she. You might know me as Candace the Magnificent. I am here playing the freakazoid, Nyx Jameson, who also uses they, she pronouns.
Awesome. And finally, Logan, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, everyone. My name is Logan, known on the internet as Logan the GM. Pronouns he, him. I am playing Paul Prince Platson, the Plastic Beauty.
Wonderful. And because I forgot to say where you might know me from the show Three Black Halflings. Probably the most well-known thing that I'm a part of. But more important than me is the thing that we are here to do. Because today's stream supports the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, PCRF, who are currently focusing on providing immediate relief, including providing essential medical supplies, food, medical treatment, clean water, and other necessities for families affected in Palestine. Please check out our Tiltify link that is pinned in chat to donate what you can to help support PCRF. While you're at our Tiltify, you'll see some incentives for you to help shape our game. For $10, you get a reroll. For $25, you get an auto success. For $50, you can select a boon or a bane. This will be a human person who you can choose whether they will be helpful or harmful. And I actually have a list of humans that I will roll on. These are all pop culture characters, I'm saying up front, that can appear in either a helpful or a hurtful capacity. You get to choose. I cannot guarantee that they will remain harmful or hurtful or helpful the whole time. That will depend on what the party does. But for $100, you can select a boon or bane monster. Popular culture monster. I got a whole long list of them. I will roll. You can choose whether this monster up front will be helpful or harmful. So look, if you've ever wanted to see Jack Torrance show up as a help from The Shining, running around with his axe, helping these kids solve a mystery, now's your chance. Jack Torrance is not on that list, but he may make an appearance. So for every $10 you donate, you are entered to win one of over 40 TTRPG related prizes like gift cards and dice from Die Hard Dice, TTRPG core books and supplements, dice bags, and more. And a big thank you to today's matching gift sponsors. Bogus Cheesecake is an Alaska-based TTRPG company making unique content and systems, and Clouds into Earth rather is an Alaska-based noise musician. Oh, that's sick. We also have some chat giveaways throughout the stream provided by our friends at Die Hard Dice. So stay tuned. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Our adventure takes place in the year 1986 in the fictional city of Little Manus. Little Manus is a company town formed by a company called Cross Company. They pretty much manufacture whatever. Toothpaste, diapers, shoes, you name it, they probably make some version of it. And Cross Company, pretty much most of the people in Little Manus in southeast Ohio in this timeline work for the Cross Company. Cross Company is currently launching a grand reopening of the Crosstown USA Mall. There was an incident back in '83 where a group of cryptozoologists came to Little Manus to try and flush out Bigfoot because there are famously throughout the United States, constant Bigfoot sightings in Little Manus. And these people came to try and prove, is Bigfoot here once and for all? And folks, let me tell you, they kept the residents of Little Manus up for days on end, round-the-clock experimentation, until finally things came to a head when they upset a number of folks at the Sunset Horizons old folks' home. Things did not go well, and it finally resulted in them being run out of town. And since then, whatever they were doing also spilled into the mall itself and basically trashed it. And the mall has lain dormant for the past 3 years, until now. Crosstown USA Mall is reopening, and it is such a big deal that even the schools have put on field trips to go and experience the wonders, the bounty of excitement that this new version of the Crosstown USA Mall has to offer. And that is where we are right now. Players, each of you have been brought by your high school to Crosstown USA Mall as part of this grand reopening effort. You can actually, it's one of those situations where it's like you arrive pretty much as the mall opens, and you're basically supposed to stay there throughout the day. There are hundreds, thousands of kids of all varying ages standing outside of this mall, getting ready to be let in. There's a big ribbon that needs to be cut. As we find our particular group, because of course each group of kids, in order to keep things relatively organized, each group of kids has been assigned a specific teacher chaperone. So Mrs. Milton, the Latin teacher, is currently standing, trying to make sure that she has all of her students. Let's find out who those students are and what they look like. We're going to go in reverse order. Logan, can you please describe Prince to us?
Of course you went in reverse order. Of course I wasn't ready. Of course. Prince is, personality-wise, he's very cold and standoffish. So he kind of always is alone. But he also, because his parents are rich, dresses obscenely nice. He wears designer clothes to school. He stands out because of it. And it doesn't necessarily make him everyone's friend. Like, he doesn't like, oh, look at the cool guy over there, but he does have an air of mystery around him, and it's kind of seen as pretty. Right now, he is wearing a very nice blazer with a just a good button-up top, some nice slacks, and he has a flat top that he actually has like half of it is like half of the height as the other side. So, because we're a little 80s, we're a little bit off here. So, flat step, I guess, is what we got going on here.
Yeah, I love it. You are standing there, kind of. I imagine sort of like a grand monolith that no one dares approach, but everyone knows about. Just standing there among several other kids. We're about to find out who the second of those kids is. Candace, would you please describe your character and what they might be doing in contrast to Prince?
I feel like my character, Nyx Jemison, is average height, about 5'6", kind of curvy body, a little bit on the thick side. And I feel like they're probably sitting in a very bisexual way in a mall like chair that they have scraped over, maybe from the food court. They have a notepad out and they're sketching with like a huge black like Sharpie marker in this notebook, and they have a Walkman at their side that they have like painted black with nail polish, and they have it kind of jammed in their ears and they're scrunched down. Very goth individual, does not care about anything, obviously. The aesthetic is complete chipped nail polish, ridiculous raccoon eye makeup, like hair, kinky curly hair kind of just jammed underneath this hat, obviously dyed with like a burgundy henna. Just a very sharp person. They pride themselves on smelling like cloves, even though they're only 16. They wear like they do a little dab at home. Their mom makes fun of them. But yeah, I think that she is probably sitting there listening to some horrible, miserable new wave music while making sketches of all the idiots that she sees all around her, because everybody's a phony.
Yeah, you got like swans playing, just like the angriest, weirdest, loudest, most depressing, dismal, just I hate life, just repeated over and over again as chains clank in the background.
Absolutely.
Yes. So in joining this motley crew, Lauren, could you please describe your character?
Sitting next to Nyx is probably the exact opposite, although she's not really that worried about it. You see on the short side, beanpole thin, brown curly hair that's almost kind of down to the mid-waist, almost to the butt, just in big, huge curls, as the 80s were. And she is in a riot of color, and it's not intentional. And so it's jeans and then layers. There's like a t-shirt that's a graphic tee that probably has some sort of pictures of probably the surrounding countryside, some trees or something. And then over that is a flannel that is in the colors that would be the exact opposite to go with the tee. She's also wearing a jacket over that, and that jacket also clashes. And somehow she's managed to put on 2 socks that are completely different socks. And it's all kind of bright and a little garish. And it's half she just wants to be comfortable, and half she doesn't really care what she grabs in the morning when it's still dark, and so she just puts it on. And she's sitting close enough to Nyx because she's a little interested in whatever the music is that's coming out of the Walkman, but doesn't want to actually ask because that would be rude. But what she is doing is intently watching everyone and keeping an eye on the exits and trying to figure out the moment that she can break away to go to the 2 stores that she wants to go to, and then try to get into some of the back areas of the mall, because they've reopened this mall. Those Bigfoot hunters are gonna be back, and she wants to see them when they do. So she's like if a 15-year-old could have eagle eyes, that's what she's doing.
I love it. Okay, and joining this bizarre conflagration of colors and demeanors, Friday, can you please describe your character?
Yeah, Jesse's a sophomore, 16 years old, kind of muscular. She looks bigger than a lot of her peers. Like, she grew up too fast. She's like the perpetually tall girl. And she's wearing a varsity jacket, as one does when you're not a senior, to let everybody know that you're varsity. Yeah, she's just right now she's just hanging out on at the table with Nyx, but is like reading a pamphlet right now about Bigfoot right now, because she's just kind of like she's getting into it. Like, she's curious, and she's thinking to herself, like, wouldn't it be cool if someone needed to tackle a Bigfoot? You know what I mean? Like, what if
You know what? As you're reading that, I'm going to say, roll me a brains roll. This is the first roll of the game.
Oh,
And I should also
no.
highlight, we also have 3 rerolls up for grabs already. So there's a pool of 3 rerolls available. Thank you
Okay.
so much to those who have donated already.
Yeah, let me pull up my dice roller because I'm so unprepared. Okay, here we go. Here it is. What did I roll? Here we go.
I believe for brains you have a d6.
I got a 5 here.
Okay. You actually reading through this, you get a little bit of information. I'm going to say the section that you're on is specifically about the disaster of '83, and it's saying that the findings of the group were that, based on the surrounding geography and the ecology, they suspect that, especially considering there is, in addition to Little Manus, there is a huge city, Big Manus, immediately next to it. With how urban and developed it is, and with how many sightings there are, it is almost nonsensical that a giant wild ape could be living nearby in a den that has not yet been stumbled upon. And so there were theories, some of the wilder theories that were floated around. There were people saying maybe it's people dressing up, maybe it's all a hoax. Maybe some had even suggested maybe Bigfoot itself is some kind of an apparition. Somebody even suggested that it might be an interdimensional traveler of some kind. Those are some of the things that have been bandied about. So those are some of the theories that you're reading over at the moment.
Yeah, as she reads that, and she's just gonna like kind of gesture towards Nyx, who's across the table from her. She's gonna like get your attention to see if you take off your headphones.
You definitely get like one pulled away and an eyebrow in your direction.
Hey, so do you know anything about this Bigfoot? And I was just kind of curious, and I don't mean to stereotype you or anything, but you look like someone who might be able to, I don't know, cast some spells.
An awkward silence just extends.
I think you hear like the crackling and popping of gum, like ringing out from between their lips as they look at you and kind of size you up. And they're like, yeah, I know a lot about Bigfoot.
Yeah,
what do you want to know?
Well, it don't make sense why like we get all these Bigfoot sightings, but no one's ever caught them. So that must mean that we need some kind of spell to slow it down in order for someone to get there and wrestle it. You know what I mean? Like, just give it a good double leg, because obviously a big ape is very large and powerful. So we're going to need some supernatural assistance. In theory.
They take like a minute to reply to you as they're turning it over in their mind. No one has ever suggested this kind of level of conspiracy theory before, and having someone in their family that like is on the lam behind this, like they're like you've got them, like you've reeled them in. And I think she kind of like pops up, like puts her Doc Martens like in the little bowl of the chair and like perches like a little gargoyle and is like, I don't know magic. I wish I did. I've never felt more useless in my life. But whatever it is that you think we should do, I'm with you.
Do you use like crystals?
I mean, I own crystals.
Do you like have like super speed crystals?
Wait, you think I can do the magic?
I mean, well, you know, you just kind of look like you might.
That's the best compliment I think anyone's ever given me in my life.
You look kind of witchy. I don't know. Sorry.
Well, I mean, so it's funny because in my mind, like witches have like really long hair and they wear like cool robes and stuff, and they got like all these awesome colors. So I feel like as much as maybe I'm a witch, maybe also I can like ask Angela to come in on this, because you know your whole aesthetic is giving me like Rainbow Stevie Nicks vibes, and I feel like maybe we should consult you. I don't know your life. Maybe you know something about this. Do you know like magic? Math's like magic. I know you know a lot about that.
that gets like a furious nod. Angela has been listening very intently and like very slowly turning around from where she's been watching the rest of the crowd. And as soon as she's invited into the conversation, there's a book that she's pulled out of her backpack and slammed down on the table that is literally a history of the lore of Bigfoot in this area. And it looks like it's been read through a bunch of times. And she says, I know a lot. I mean, Stevie Nicks, I wish I was that cool. I don't
Angela.
know if Bigfoot's real. Yeah, hi.
Before you go any further, I need you to roll me a brains roll.
Okay.
This is going to be, I'm going to say this is a DC, I'm going to say this is DC 15. While you are rolling that, I'm going to jump over to Prince. Prince, I'm sure you are aware of the commotion, the Bigfoot-centric commotion that is currently occurring. But as you notice this, you also notice another person approaching the group. Leah, could you please describe your character?
Yeah, Libby Foster is a senior. She's a young senior. She's 17, so she's like, I don't know, November, December baby. But she is tall, sort of average build, red hair, just like tied up in a high pony, just, no nonsense, out of the way, because she spends most of her time babysitting, and you do not wear long hair when you're babysitting. It's down. Kids will grab it. It's just not a good idea. She's wearing jeans, like a tank top with a hoodie over top, some sneakers, really sort of standard, practical, all practical. She's got a backpack slung over her shoulder. And I think she's just sort of checking through her backpack to make sure she has everything in the survival kit, because she knows she's going to be spending the whole day here. And, if anybody gets hungry, she needs to have a snack or whatever. Got to have the provisions. And I think she is sort of heading toward the teacher, the chaperone, to sort of have a word and like, how's everything going? Is everybody okay? Does anybody need anything? Can I help you somehow? She's one of those like thinks she's an adult, but she's really not. Yeah.
As you approach Mrs. Milton, who is, I'm going to say, a relatively tall woman. She's pushing 6 feet. She is tall, but she's relatively thin, and she has shoulder-length curly black hair and kind of tannish skin. And she looks at you and says, "Oh, Leah, there you are. I was just looking all over for you. Oh my, that's quite a few snacks you've brought. My goodness."
Well, you never know when someone's gonna get hungry. I mean, it's just never hurts to be prepared.
Well, how do you know it's a mall? They have a food court.
Well, not everybody's gonna bring money for the food court.
Well, I suppose you've got me there.
It just like like I say, it never hurts to be prepared, just in case we could get locked in.
Well, okay. Well, she sort of pats you on the shoulder. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
She turns to the rest of the group. As she turns to the rest of the group, she looks at you as well, Prince, and gives you a little smile and a nod. How is Prince feeling in this moment, because you're kind of an island unto yourself. How are you feeling about all this?
I think it's pretty obvious to most people he is annoyed and bothered. Oh my gosh, we're at this mall. I was at a bigger mall last week. This place is lame. Everyone here's so lame. He's not even like hiding that. Like he's whispering it under his breath. So if you're near enough, you can kind of go, "This is all lame."
Hey,
Go ahead.
Paul. Your name's Paul, right?
Sure.
Are you sure it is, or sure you... Anyway, Paul.
You can call me Prince.
Okay, Prince. Yeah, so I had a question for you.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen the A-Team?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've-
so you
I've-
know that part where they're developing the plan, and they always say, we need a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been a human distraction before?
Okay, well, to some degree, and he kind of like stops and he does a pose. I have distracted people before.
As you make that pose, roll a charm roll. I'm going to say
Okay.
DC 4.
I got a 19.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
You catch Libby's
as
eye.
you-
Libby's distracted.
Yeah, as you do that, an entire crowd of teenagers has like a pile up as one of them, like they're all their heads turn, and one of them bumps into a trash can, and the rest is and there's a pile up of teenagers that occurs as you strike that pose.
Not again. Someone's got to clean that up.
Whoa,
Not gonna
hey,
be-
watch where you flash that. We didn't need it yet. Just keep that holstered.
Libby reaches into her bag and finds like some baby wipes, so like people that spilled their drink can just like clean themselves up.
You're like walking over like band-aids and like
Yeah,
wipes
here,
and
anybody?
everything.
Yeah, we're good. What does everybody need?
They're like, oh, thank you. You make like 3 friends
Great.
just immediately.
I can call in favors later. It's perfect.
Yeah, while all of this is happening, Angela, what did you get on your brains roll?
I got a 12.
Okay, and I said 15.
I don't
believe.
remember, but whatever you say goes.
I said 15. Would you like to re-roll? Because we have currently 4 of them up for grabs. Thank you to the 4th person who gave.
And thank you to everybody who gave. If everyone's okay with me rolling, because I got a D20 in brains, so I got a pretty good shot at this. So.
Yeah.
For it.
Thank
Go
you. Nope, that's worse. That's a 7. I think in this moment, Angela is so taken with the fact that she's been included in this at all. She's started to ramble about the it's not Bigfoot that I'm really that interested in. It's all of the people that are looking for Bigfoot. Because here's the thing. It's not that they want Bigfoot just to find out for scientific curiosity. What do they want it for?
Right. What's the evil intent?
Right? That's
Right.
way more important.
Yeah, it's like in Scooby-Doo when they take the mask off. It's like that was the evil all along.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably capitalism. It's probably capitalism.
That's what the A-Team taught us. I heard you talking about the A-Team. Really good show. Yeah.
Right, yeah. What's your favorite character?
Oh, well, I kind of wish I was Face, but Mr. T is real cool.
Right. Yeah, the name Dirk though, that's just a name that you have to repeat a lot. I feel like you tell someone your name and it's like Dirk and you're like, excuse me? You know what I mean? Like,
Very Shakespearean.
yeah.
Well, this seems like as good a time as any for me to butt in. Hello, everybody. I don't know if I've had all of you in class. My name is Mrs. Milton, the math teacher, or excuse me, not math teacher, sorry, Latin teacher. My wife is a math teacher, and sorry, I get distracted. As she says that, Angela, you immediately know who she's talking about because you have been in multiple classes. She does not have the same last name, but Mrs. Crother. You have heard Mrs. Crother over, like, initially when school started, things were cool, but as the year has worn on, Mrs. Crother has seemed increasingly agitated, and occasionally there will be Freudian slips that seem to be related to things happening at home. And as you see Mrs. Milton get that faraway look in her eye, I think you recognize these are some ladies with some marital problems. But she sort of like pulls herself out of it and she says, right, well, we are here at the mall for an exciting, fun day. They're just about to do the grand opening. Oh, look, there, you can see. And you watch as a person that you probably all recognize, Mr. Weiger, walking up with a gigantic pair of scissors towards the ribbon. She says, all right, so for today, there's a number of attractions. Oh, and I should give each of you one of these tickets. They have actually a cinema inside, and they've given us each golden tickets for one good for one free movie. And she starts to hand out little Crosstown Mall golden tickets to each of you. And she says, so, of course, we can all settle on a movie and all go together. We'd like to stay together as a group. So if there's anything Bigfoot themed or related because I heard you talk about Bigfoot, we can all go as a group to go see it. You just let me know. And you
Do
watch.
they allow outside snacks?
Oh, honey, I'm not really sure about that. Perhaps if we go to the food court, or rather, when we go to the food court, maybe just keep them hidden.
Gotcha. I can do
All
that.
right. Absolutely. She turns, but as she was saying this, no one gives a crap about Mr. Weiger walking up with a giant pair of scissors. He's walked up, said a few words. No one quieted down at all. He cut the ribbon, and the only reason that you're aware that he suddenly cut the ribbon is because there is a roar at the front as a crowd of kids stampedes into the mall over Mr. Weiger. As kids start to surge forward into the mall, Mrs. Milton turns to you and says, "All right, everyone, shall we go explore a little bit?"
Yes.
When can we use our movie tickets?
Oh, we can use them right away if there's a particular film you'd like to see.
I mean, do I get to pick the movie?
Well, the group has to pick the movie, dear.
All right, I'm gonna pass out a note, you guys. Keep an eye. Keep an eye. They get like way too excited about it and start scribbling notes down in the pad.
Like, is it like the whole group, or is it just like this group, like our small group?
Oh, just our small group. We don't need to worry about the other groups. Yeah, they
Oh,
broke
that's
them
good.
down. Yeah, broke them down to smaller groups. So
And say we don't want to see a movie today because there's so many other things to see at the mall. Is this a ticket we could use some other time?
she looks thoughtful for a moment and says, "Well, that is a little unorthodox, but go ahead and roll. We're gonna say a charm roll to try and win her over to your side. This is going to be because this is kind of like a school function, and she doesn't want you to get lost. I'm gonna say this is a DC 7.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. You currently have 3 rerolls available, and you have 2 adversity tokens because when you failed your previous roll, you gained an adversity token, and everybody started with 1.
I feel like this is pretty accurate for Angela, as she's trying her best to not seem suspicious and failing. So yeah, I'm gonna let that one ride and just continue to smile awkwardly.
I want to just sort of, as surreptitiously as I can, sort of whisper to Angela, "It's easy to lose a teacher in a dark movie theater. Just saying."
I've changed my mind. I'd like to go see whatever Nix is interested in going to see.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad that just worked itself right on out. Okay, well, let's go ahead and head on in, everybody. I'm so excited. I hear they've done all sorts of incredible things to this mall. She leads you all inside. This mall is packed. It is bumping in here. And you know what? In contrast to most of the stuff in Little Menus, this mall's actually surprisingly nice. Cross Company really did it out. There you see, like, in addition to all just the stores, the incredible variety of stores, there's also like arcade machines scattered around the mall. You can see that there are like booths where people are like selling cool toys. They're like advertising like, "Whoa, check this thing out." And it's how people always have like those little like raccoon things that run around. This is like they've debuted. And the first one of those like, "Hey, check it out." And there's a bunch of kids like, "Whoa, it's like it's alive." Running around. You can see billboards for all sorts of different movies that have come out over the years, come out in recent time, just popular movies. You can see cutouts of popular characters. You see like some Star Wars cutouts, just all over the place. It is a visual feast, a visual and auditory feast, as well as an olfactory feast. You can smell there are cinnamon buns in this mall. They got all sorts of stuff going on. And probably at the center of it all, towering over anyone else. This is a multi-story mall. There are 2 levels to this mall. Towering over 30 feet high is the famous Bigfoot statue made out of trash, recycled trash, put forward toward the construction of this triumphant Art Deco style monstrosity. The most heroic looking Bigfoot you have ever seen in your lives. It's as if Superman dressed up as in a Bigfoot costume. Chest puffed out, eyes looking off into the middle distance, simian like arms on hips, even though the arms are incredibly long, and then just the biggest feet. And just the unfortunately large feet, even in comparison to the rest of the body.
That is literal garbage.
the layers of irony that are involved here, I can't even begin to count.
I didn't realize they. Well, I better not. Never mind.
Well, so there's a whole lot of things here we can see. We could go. They have a bookstore here.
Walden
they've got-
Books?
Oh yes, yes. We could stop by the bookstore. I hear they have an excellent selection. I hear they even got in some relatively older volumes.
I mean, that's on my list. I don't know when the movies are going to start, so we might want to look at the movies first.
I think for now we could probably just like go to the bookstore and look at stuff real quick if we wanted to, or we could just go to the movies. Whatever, it's fine. It's cool. Whatever.
It's my understanding that the movies start around 11:30, which is about an hour and a half from now. So we've got plenty of time to look around before then. If you would all like to stop by the bookstore.
Definitely.
All right, to the bookstore we go. She leads you through crowds of kids. They have actual like little, it's almost like a fair type deal. There's like little miniature roller coasters. It's like you see like a tiny Ferris wheel. You see like there's just basically a train that goes like a circle and has a couple of humps in it as you pass by. And as you weave your way through the mall, you arrive at Walden Books, a huge bookstore. You can tell that they, like, looking in, this place has kind of an, if you are a fan of books, this place feels like it was chosen by the book gods.
I think Nyx walks in really slowly, like they want to touch everything, but also don't want to mess anything up. And they like their eyes just dart to like the new age section and they just beeline over there. Like they're just this streak of black through this Walden Books.
In and amongst those new age books, you see one tome that is like seated on like a platform, as if it's like almost like a pulpit. This is a book unlike anything you've ever seen. It is large, it is thick, it looks hefty, and strangely, the cover looks like it is bound in comic book pages, as though somebody has taken pages from hundreds or if not thousands of comic books, put them all together, like panel by panel, and constructed this massive cover. And on the top of it, you see the title Encyclopedia Popularis Culturae.
Oh yeah, those mitts are going on. Dragging it down off of this thing and then plopping right down on the floor, back up against the side of one of the bookshelves and just immediately going through.
Awesome.
Just doing a deep dive.
Awesome. What are the rest of you doing as they run over to do that?
Angela looks like she's going to make a beeline for the science fiction section and then stops and looks over to wherever Libby is. And then in the worst way that a child is trying to be subtle and can't as possible, she says, "Do you want to join me in the science fiction section?"
Sure. Yeah, if you will accompany me to my section after.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Cool. What kind of sci-fi do you like to read?
All of it. And as soon as we've rounded the corner and gotten out of the direct eye line of our teacher, she's going to say, "Okay, so that was really a really good idea, and I really appreciate it. I don't know how you clocked the fact that I was trying to get away, but, you know, I appreciate you keeping it on the down low and everything. So I didn't have any other plans except to try to sneak away. Should we wait for the movie thing, or I mean, there's an exit back there, but I don't know yet whether that's going to sound the alarm."
Yeah, so okay, here's the thought. If we get into the movie theater, it's all dark, right? There's lots of people, there's lots going on. The teacher's going to be into the movie. She like seems pretty keen to get into the movie, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we get her a soda and we get her some popcorn. She's going to be invested. Then, right? It's dark. If we all sneak out, not even sneak out, we have to go to the bathroom. She's not going to bring us to the bathroom, right? That's weird. One at a time, we go to the bathroom, give a few minutes in between, and then that gives us like an hour and a half before she even knows we're gone, right? Because she's going to stay for the movie. So I've snuck away from my parents doing it this way before. So I can vouch for the fact that it works on grown-ups. Just, you know.
That's amazing, and I appreciate that, because every time I have tried, I have failed completely. So okay, it's all right. So find a movie that we can convince everybody to vote for. That's like a rom-com or something. That's gonna be like
Yes.
school
Do we
teacher
know anything
boring.
about Miss Wilton that would like any clues about what movie she might like? Like,
Ooh.
you know?
You watch as Angela looks like she's about to say something and then stops and is like, I mean, I could make some assumptions, but it's more knowing her wife as the math teacher I work with a lot, but I don't know if that's
Have I heard any rumors, Jeremy, about anything about Miss Milton? What interest she might have? Perhaps I've taken her class.
Yeah, I would say in this particular case, let's roll a retroactive. We're gonna roll a. In this case, I'm gonna say, I guess, charm, because people share rumors with each other often as a form of bonding. I'll say charm, sort of a charm roll to see if you have succeeded. We'll say it's a 5.
Okay, cool. And I can spend a token to take half.
Yes. And just
I'll roll.
automatically.
I have a D12. I'll roll. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
It's 10.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you absolutely. You know that she's actually really big into science fiction.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also know that Aliens, the movie Aliens, is currently showing at the theater.
Okay. So, I mean, I did hear her, I overheard her talking about how she was really excited to see Aliens. So we could just like, spread the word to the other folks in our group that like that's the one that's going to get her the most invested, and that'll give us our best chance of like, sneaking away and staying snuck.
That is brilliant. The hard thing is going to be that I want to see that movie too, so leaving at the beginning is going to be hard, but this is way more important. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I have another part of this plan. If you tell the ticket taker, right, when we leave, we sneak out, you just tell them I'm like feeling super sick. Can I just have my ticket, my voucher back? Because I can't stay. I've got to go home. They might give you your ticket back if you're like good, if you convince them, and then you could just go see it another day for free.
While you're having this conversation, one of you please roll me a flight roll, because you are kind of trying to have like a clandestine like planning session about running away from the group. Please roll, whoever wishes to roll me a flight roll.
How's your flight?
I have a D12, and because I'm a teen, I get to add +1. So
okay, yeah, I have a D10. So you go.
Okay.
This was your plan to
this
sneak
conversation
away,
has gone on long enough. I'm going to say this is a 10. You got to hit a 10.
If I use an adversity token, can I just how do I use an adversity token not to do the half, but to just like help the roll?
You would just
something?
add, yeah, you can add 1 point to whatever. I think you have 2 adversity tokens.
Yes.
Currently, or 3. No, because you failed 3 rolls, I believe.
I've failed a bunch.
Yes, or you failed 2 rolls, so that's 3 adversity tokens. You can basically add a maximum of 3 to whatever you want to roll.
Perfect, because I rolled a 7, so I'm going to add all 3 to get the 10 that I need to not get caught, because I am so glad that I met a senior, because that is way more planning than I put into this, and that's a way better plan.
I mean, listen, you can share it with the underclassmen when you get there, right? Spread the love.
As the two of you begin to bond, jumping over to Prince. Prince, you notice, first of all, that Libby and Angela are not nearby. Like it's one of those, like, as you're looking down your nose at this bookstore, you notice, like, you see that Nyx has run over. They have buried their face in this huge encyclopedia. You notice also that two party members have fully disappeared. What are you doing at this point?
Enjoying being alone. No, not just that. That's a little too emo, I think, I guess. Because he's not quite there. So, like,
you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that you see a person walk by with a hairstyle that you yourself, and you can naysay this if you disagree, but I think you yourself have always kind of wanted to try out, but have never gone far enough to try out. And that hairstyle, because it's a little bit of a throwback at this point, that hairstyle is the Jerry curl. Ooh. You see someone walking by full soul glow. You even hear the as they like walk by. You watch them walk by into the fashion and lifestyle section, and you see like you haven't noticed this teenager before, but their vibe is immaculate. It is like if you took all of the best, most cutting edge fashion trends, but especially at like a budget, they are like, whew, like literally the edge of the cutting. They have just walked into that section. What do you do?
Well, first of all, you just said there's a fashion and lifestyle area. Why am I not just there?
You didn't notice it until this moment.
And then second of all, like at first, stunned. How can someone be just as pretty as me? That's not possible. And then, like a trance, I must know more. And already, y'all are planning to leave. I'm just dipping. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Why are there plans? Why don't you just leave?
Roll a flight roll as you start to follow this incredible person.
Yes.
We're gonna say this
looks like a 1.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is also gonna be a 10 to just get away. That's a 1.
Yep.
We have several rerolls. We have 4 rerolls currently up for grabs, or 3 rerolls rather.
I will take it because I've been in enough charity games to know that these resources sit because everyone's playing a video game and is forgetting to use their potions. Use your damn potions.
Why are you calling me out like that? Oh.
That is a much better use of that because I got 11.
Awesome. Okay, you also disappear and just like you slide into the view of this particular aisle, and you see the person is already standing looking. Like as you slide in, they see you and they say, "Hey, I saw you from across the bookstore. That's one heck of an outfit you've got."
You're not, half bad yourself.
Whoa.
I try. Listen, I heard there's a pretty cutting edge machine. A machine that lets you know the future. In this mall. What do you say we get out of here?
I mean, I wanted to leave in the first place. Knowing the future sounds kind of existentially great. So
Yeah.
let's do that.
Awesome. Let's go. And then they turn their head and they're like, "I'm Merle, by the way." And slide out of view. Do you follow?
First for a moment I go, Merle. Okay, I can dig it. Let's go. Follow.
Yeah, you see Merle heads out, and like you already rolled your flight roll. Nobody notices. Maybe they notice you're not there, but they do not notice you leave. You both slip out of the bookstore, deeper into the mall. And as you're walking, Merle's like, "I heard tell of this machine. They say it existed even before the mall got trashed. They say it moves with the days. You never know where it's going to be. It's never in the same place twice. Keep an eye out for it." I'm going to have you, we're going to say, because we're walking around looking, and this is kind of like you're having to really focus down with how many people there are and also the distracting person with you. We're going to call this a grit roll to see if you are able to spy this machine. We're going to call this, under the circumstance, we're going to call this a 5.
I want you to know I have a D4 for grit.
Oh, you can still do it. You just need to explode that die. That's all.
I can explode. Yeah, I just need to explode. That's the only way of doing this.
Yeah.
No, that's a 3.
There's a reroll. Are you gonna reroll?
I'm not gonna hog the rerolls. I'm not gonna hog them.
I mean,
You
I'm
have-
invested in this
I agree.
story.
I
Okay,
agree.
fine.
I would
like
for
to
you.
know. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's.
If I
use
had
my-
adversity tokens, I'd be throwing them your way.
I feel like Merle might be a mimic, but
I'd be invested in that part of the story.
Very suspicious
Yeah.
of Merle.
yeah.
And I'm not at all. I just go, they're pretty. I'm pretty.
It's a match made in heaven.
Right?
Okay, I used the reroll. It was another 3. My D4 is just determined to say no.
Mm.
Okay. We do still, I believe, have one more reroll if you want to use it.
No, I feel horrible if I did. Like, I'm still with Merle. We just haven't found
true.
this machine. So,
It's
like,
true.
come on, guys, give me a chance.
Okay. So you gain another adversity token as you wander off through the mall with Merle, just chatting. Merle's a person of relatively few words, but they do occasionally jump in with like I heard somebody died in that store and things like that. You're not
They just
sure how much
reopened the mall. How did they die?
they look at you. They just look at you with this like piercing look that seems to communicate something. You're not sure what they're trying to say, but it's the kind of thing that's like, well, okay. Like it's the look implies don't ask any more questions.
I oddly respect it. I don't fear it, but I respect it. There's a difference here.
As you continue winding off through the mall, let's jump back to Jesse. Jesse, where did you go in this bookstore?
Jesse's just at the threshold of the bookstore, just watching Prince walk off and just like holding a couple of books and just like, all right, and then like returns to the bookstore and like sees Next like in the new age section and says, hey, is this what you think about this one if I'm just getting started? And then she shows the book. It's called Witchy Wonder, Beginner's Guide to Witchcraft Without Selling Your Soul.
I mean, it seems legit to me, personally. I also feel like, we're pretty much adults, and that very much
Right.
feels like the YA of Wicca. So I don't know. I mean, you can go there. I don't judge personally. This is not a magic book, but it is. So as you can see, my book is very large and impressive. And I heft it.
After you call it a YA book, she like just takes it and then just like puts it on the shelf next to her. What do you think of this one? I was gonna ask Prince about this, but they left, so and they'll just show like this other book that says Dress to Impress, A Girl's Guide to Glamour at 16.
Is this like what you're about or whatever though?
Nah, forget it. And then she's gonna take it and like just put it on the shelf and walk away.
Do you like comics?
Do I? Yeah. I mean, she looks around. Yeah. What's up? What kind of comic does it?
Like cool stuff, like Blade or Spider-Man or X-Men.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like those comics. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, let me not get ahead of myself. And I think she turns back to the book. Is there anything useful in here to solve our plight?
This book is like, you were not expecting this, but this book appears to be some sort of, it seems to be like some part philosophy, part religion about popular culture, and specifically it's like part metaphysics about like the significance of these characters, the way that like artists are channeling these creatures, like these beings and these entities. That in a sense they do exist. There's like theories of them existing in alternate planes of reality, and by imagining them, we are making contact with these alternate planes. And there are even long portions of what appear to be like incantations that specifically relate to various properties.
Yeah, I think they set that book down flat and give you that information that they've just received about the contents of this book, and just like crouch in front of it, just furiously taking notes. I look up. I'm trying to think. When did Harry and the Hendersons come out? Not for a year.
Yeah, I don't think it was out yet.
No. I feel like she probably looks to you, and asks, so like, what would you say? I know like a Bigfoot is a cryptid. My brother was actually really into it. I should know more considering, but I know Bigfoot is a cryptid, but like, do you like have any idea like what kind of, I don't know, is it like Would you say like we could use like a kaiju spell on it? Do you think? Because it's really big. Like I know you're new to this. I am too. But maybe we can like suss out some kind of plan and bring it around to the others.
You just see like Jessie just like really struggling to come up with an adequate answer, so she's gonna be like, "Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Wait. Well, if we think about it in terms of like scale, right? So this thing is like probably like the size of a tank, right? So
I'd say so.
do we have like, can we build like witchy tank traps?
I mean, where are we gonna find that much rope?
I
There's
mean,
There's a sports authority or something in here, right?
yeah, we could just steal it from the gym.
As you're having this conversation, you hear, did I hear somebody say tank? And Mrs. Milton comes walking over and she says, I'm really hoping that in the new Aliens movie they have a tank. I heard there's Marines or something in this. Oh, look at that! Oh, and she points at the book you're reading. She says, look at that! They got Latin there.
Oh yeah. It's it's doing research, being responsible.
Yeah. Oh, well, good for you, Nix. She pats you on the shoulder and looks and says, "Oh, look there." She says, that's a weird one. Fictum et mundos hic adducere. And as she's like, that's a strange one right there. Why would that be in this book?
It's a joke. There's a new
It's for fighting kaiju.
trauma. Yes.
It's for
There's
fighting kaiju.
A kaiju. It's
Kaiju
new
killer.
Latin kaiju instead of Japanese ones.
Fictum et mundos hic adducere. That has nothing to do with kaiju.
What does it have to do with, ma'am?
It's more of like a general fictional beings sort of thing and worlds. Fictum et mundos hic adducere. It means fictional worlds and beings come here.
Well, I mean, you're really kind of talking to me about Godzilla wreaking havoc in Tokyo right now, so I'm confused. Like, it doesn't
And I
matter.
will say, as she says it the third time, you hear a bassy sound come in and repeat it underneath her voice. And the entire, like, all of the lights seem to dim, both inside of the store and outside of the store. Prince, you also notice this as you're walking along with Merle. You're walking and suddenly everything gets darker. And Merle turns to you and is like, are we having a moment right now?
If I was ever gonna have a moment, I think it was gonna be with a person like you.
Everybody
That's
just
then you're like, that's awesome. And they just stare deeply into your eyes. And as
Constant eye
they
contact.
start to like, they make eye contact and they're like, we could so totally kiss and no one would know.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Only if you want to, though. Only if you want to. And they say and they turn away.
I'm just confused, like, why we have to hide it. I mean, if you just want to do it, and then Prince like goes fully in.
As you kiss, you hear them saying, "It's just because it's not cool for other people to. I'm not about public displays of affection." And in the middle of that, you hear, "I want to rock!" And a person in full spandex power dives in between the pair of you, followed by an entire band complete with drums and instruments who starts playing. You see as the band Twisted Sister just suddenly appears and starts rocking out with "I want to rock!" And you just hear people go, "Rock!" You're not sure from where. And as that happens, you also hear what sounds a familiar sound, I think, to anyone growing up now, the sound of lasers. Star Wars lasers that come blasting in through the roof of the mall and scorch the ground nearby. You hear people scream like, people start to run by. You watch as somebody rides by on what can only be described as a motorbike made out of light. This zips by you, and entire, like, the pandemonium begins to break out. Meanwhile, back at Walden Books, as you all continue to try and talk through the strangeness of what's currently, like, why this phrase is in this book and the specifics of why a kaiju might or might not show up and how one might catch a kaiju, you hear you hear from behind you, hey, where's Apollo? Where's Apollo at? And a tall, jacked, shirtless man wearing boxing gloves just walks into the room. Say, where's Apollo? Where's the fight? This guy looks like he's been beaten half to death. His face is just pulp. And he looks around. Wait, you here for the fight? I don't understand.
Hey, Rocky.
Hey, yeah, we know each other?
No, man. Like...
Oh, well, I'm looking for Apollo Creed. He was just here. We were just fighting. I don't really know what's happening. And from behind him, you see a man run by wearing a red checkered jacket, wielding an axe, screaming, "Lady boy!" Who just sprints past. And following him, you see a group of dancing teenagers, just like, yeah, footloose. And like just jump by, like following down the mall, and a bunch of kids running up behind them. And strangest of all, an anthropomorphic fox wearing a full green tunic and green hat, carrying a longbow, comes walking in and says, "Excuse me, I was in a tournament. I'm a little confused. Can you direct me? My name's Robin."
Nix, are you high too? Like, I feel like
I am not high.
I feel like
but
I
this-
received a contact high.
Jesse, this is the best day of my life.
Did you blow smoke in my mouth or something? Like, what happened?
No, I've never even had one joint.
Not even once. That's what I was told to just say no, so I wouldn't know about this.
I had several joints in my hands. I'm just wondering where is the tournament? I was in Nottingham. I don't.
Oh, you see, good Sir Robin, taxes have been temporarily lifted, and you can go spend your gold in any of these fine establishments yonder.
Taxes have been lifted? The sheriff has been defeated?
Temporarily. Your job is going to be totally relevant tomorrow.
Ooh, Delally! And he just runs out into the crowd. And finally, Mrs. Milton, who's been standing here in utter horror this entire time, says, "Well, I don't know what I expected." And as she says that, you see that she is suddenly grabbed from out of nowhere by a giant hippopotamus mouth. It's just, she's and gets taken out, like dragged out by this, looks like a very hungry hippo that comes running. It goes running out of Walden Books, and you see several other hippos grabbing people and just running away with them.
I would normally say that she's just dead, but like my character has the heroic trait, so I would say I guess Jesse's gonna go for it and try and tackle this hippo and break its is it a hungry hippo? Does it have a lever in the back that opens up the mouth?
It is a hungry hippo,
Okay.
and you can check for a lever. You can run and just try and straight up, grab this thing and open its mouth.
Yeah.
I will let you. This is a life-sized hippopotamus, so it is a large being. This is going to be a fight roll. I'm going to say a fight roll of 20 to try and just pop this thing's mouth open as you just go sprinting out the front of Walden Books.
Is it like the neon orange or is it the neon
Oh yeah, no, it's a
yellow?
brightly colored. It is a very brightly colored hippo.
Excellent.
Oh.
I think Nyx runs to get the others.
You come around the
And it's
corner,
like-
you see that I've already been like looking, and there's a mixture of like awe and fear. And as you come running up, I just say out loud to both you and Libby, I'm like, plans have changed. All the plans have changed. Every plan
yeah.
has changed.
Yeah. Libby, this is your moment. Bring your snacks. We're gonna need some help.
So I actually, I have the intuitive strength, and I can spend an adversity token to ask you, GM, a question about the surroundings.
Please do. This is a great time.
I would love to do that. Can I see a relatively safe exit route that would get the four of us and hopefully Ms. Milton, if Jesse's able to free her, out of the bookstore at least, and like into the mall and sort of away safety.
Yes,
temporary
as
safety.
of right now, yeah, there is currently no one positioning themselves blocking the exit of Walden Books. I will say, so you think you can fairly easily get out of the bookstore. As far as actually, like, we haven't gotten this, you don't think that, based on what you've seen, you're not sure how easy it would be to get to an actual mall exit. Indeed, you're like, because you've heard the lasers, you hear all the sounds, you even see a group of quadrupedal, long-limbed beings with large wheels for hands and feet, and just grotesque designs all over their bodies with this loud screeching sound go wheeling past the exit. You don't think anywhere is safe, but you'll have better chances not trapped in a bookstore.
Is there a PA phone somewhere nearby?
Ooh, okay, roll a grit roll. As just the overstimulation and fear of all of this is hitting you.
I have a D20 in grit, so this is my moment.
Beautiful. I'll let you know it's less than a 10 if you want to take half. I don't know if you have any
I just spent my only adversity token, so I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
GM, for my roll on the hippo, I rolled a 1, so you just see Jesse like fly over the hippo and into a trash can at first.
Oh no, amazing.
As you land in that trash can, you hear, "Hey, get out of here!" This green furry guy just throws you back out and says, "This is my trash can!"
Oh my god.
And like pulls a lid out of nowhere, sets it on his head, and just sinks back in.
All right. Sorry, Libby was doing something.
Yeah, go ahead.
What
Libby.
was my DC?
You had to get a 6.
Okay, I got a 9, so that's good.
Okay, yes, you like look through. You can see a PA. Yes, you can see a PA phone.
Cool. I'm gonna just grab Angela's hand because I am with Angela right away. And I don't know if Nyx is with us at this point. Is Nyx with us too? Okay, I grab you both by the hands. This is babysitter instinct kicking in, and run over to the PA phone. And then like as I need my hand to grab the PA phone, I'm like putting your hands together. Like, okay, you guys hold hands, buddy system. And I'm gonna pick up the PA phone and press the button for like the overhead thing. Will Paul Prince, I can't remember your last name, I'm sorry. Platson, please return to Walden Books. Paul Prince Platson, return to Walden Books. Now. And hang up.
Nyx, are you still holding that giant tome?
Yeah, I got the tome in one hand, my backpack on my back, and then my other hand is in your hand, and I am clutching this book to me for dear life.
And I'm just like staring at the book a little like, what is that? What is that?
So
what is that? What is
we-
that? Like distracted.
We've got to save her. We've got to save her. She can't, Miss Milton. She is now my favorite teacher because she read Latin words out of this fucking book. Excuse me, pardon my French. And now this is happening. So I think we might need to reverse it or something. You're smart. You could do it. But we need to go.
Nyx, I think it's okay to swear there's literally no teachers around.
Also,
Heck
She's
yeah,
just
then.
not
Fuck
eating.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
also
see a
considering
teacher-
what's going on, I think this is a very appropriate use of those words. I
Yes.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, you see a teacher currently being dragged away by a team of singing cats who shove a fedora onto his head and hand him a bass guitar. It's like and just dance away into the distance. The only teacher who was nearby just dragged away by this group of cats.
Okay, well, I mean, that makes me feel a lot better. But also, we gotta see if Jesse's okay.
Okay, yeah, sure,
Wait,
you're sure.
She ended up in the trash can.
You can see
He's
Jessie
fine.
like has pulled
He's
herself.
fine.
Yes, Jessie's standing next to the trash can. Jessie, you have seen all of this happening. You heard that announcement go over the PA system.
She's gonna like kind of fix her jacket and like walk over to the group like nothing had happened. Like she's just like, hey, what's up?
You just have a little banana peel in your. Can I get it in your hair?
Oh right, yeah. The
okay.
hippo threw it at me.
We're good. Yeah.
So wait, Nyx, you said that like the teacher read something and then all this happened and it was in Latin?
Oh yeah, so there's like incantations and stuff in this book because it's awesome, and the teacher was like, oh blah blah, whatever, Mrs. Milton, I'm boring, and then she read Latin, and then all of a sudden this happened, and I don't know, I thought she was really just dry and miserable before, but if you can summon things like this, you must be some sort of wizard.
Yeah, does that mean Miss Milton's like magic?
So
I think so.
So one of Angela's flaws is that she's superstitious.
Me too.
Oh.
And she's blunt. So do I happen to know anything from all of my reading of superstitious stuff that I could kind of come up with some ideas of how to reverse what has happened?
So, in all of your readings of superstitious stuff, as well as your readings of Bigfoot, readings about Bigfoot, you are aware, and especially with your special focus on the team that had come here, you are also aware of those theories surrounding the idea that Bigfoot may himself be some kind of supernatural entity that has hailed here from another world. You have heard rumors, suspicions, that what went down that night, that fateful night that resulted in the upsetting of several people from the old folks' home, and there are suspicions that some of them even disappeared from the old folks' home. You've heard that what happened that night was supernatural in nature, and there have been rumors of strange lights, sounds, and creatures being sighted in and around the mall. The old folks' home, by the way, is right next door to the mall. For clarification, Sunset Horizon's old folks' home is directly next door to this gigantic monstrosity of a mall. I'm
sure they love it.
Yes. Oh, they love the sounds. The nice thing is it's good for field trips. So but there you have heard that the cryptozoologists may have performed some kind of a ritual that went horribly wrong that fateful night.
Did I hear how they fixed it? Anything about that?
No, I think what you've heard is that it was probably the means were supernatural. Whatever they were, it's like whatever incantation or spell or ritual they performed went wrong, had unintended effects, and they had to do something supernatural to end it. Because there was very little physical evidence of anything strange. That's partly why it's never been proven. Like, the only physical evidence was the fact that the mall was trashed, some of the elderly were missing, and like the old folks' home had also clear, like the doors had been blown off, and it's like some weird stuff happened.
Angela, you almost watch the light bulb go off, and she points at the book. She says, oh, that was it. That was the thing. That was the thing that caused the mall to be trashed in the first place. I bet you someone read off of it, and it was just like all of this happened, and then does that mean that Mrs. Milton is one of the people from the FBI that I thought that were going to be here? We might need to save her. She might need to be the person who actually helps make the thing reverse if we want it to be reversed. I mean, did you see that box that went by? I don't know. I think this is all really cool, but the book. Keep a hold of that book.
Here's my problem. We were just talking about aliens, and if the movie theater is part of this, then do you think there is a perhaps xenomorph, if you will, roaming the halls of this institution? Because I would really prefer it to only see that in my dreams and fantasies and on television and the big screen. I would prefer to not see that in a bad way as it's eating me. As
if on cue, a man wearing a white t-shirt and white sweatpants comes walking into his sorry, I'm looking for some cough drops. I have something in my throat.
Jesse grabs like one of those over by the front of the bookstore. There's like those metal pole dividers that like create the lines. Mm-hmm. She's gonna unhook it and like grab it and like wield it like a weapon.
The guy keeps hacking and coughing until he so hard he collapses onto the ground and he starts
coughing,
to
man.
convulse.
Stop coughing,
Libby's
man.
putting herself in between.
Can I executive decision override this and just grab these teenagers and pull them
You
out
know
of
what's
the
coming.
door? I know what's happening, and I am not here for it.
You grab him.
Libby
I'm
doesn't
fine
deserve
with that.
it.
Yeah, you grab them, and you just manage to escape the splash zone as the chest burster makes its way out of this man and then like skitters off into the depths of the mall.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's bad.
I'm gonna look over at Jesse and be like, "That was a good idea. We need to find Ripley. Ripley will be able to solve this. At least that part, that part right there."
Oh no,
Yeah.
I can like have a conversation with Ripley.
And
though.
if you,
Yeah.
audience, would like to see Ripley, you know what to do. We got incentives. $50 gets us a human fictional character, whether good or bad, you choose, whether they will be helpful or harmful to the party. $100 gets us a monster. They are from all sorts of different worlds, a whole range of different world movies. I think there are maybe even one or two from books. So if you want, donate. I believe I saw in the chat we're only $30 away currently from our next goal. From our matching goal. So if we can get that look, $50 gets us there, $100 gets us there. If you want Ellen Ripley, that's the way to get her.
And
So
who doesn't really?
yeah, who doesn't? Ripley's the bomb.
That's
So
an
you,
icon.
Mm-hmm.
so you all have run out of the shop. We're gonna jump back over really quickly to Prince. Prince, who was in a full epic lip lock with Merle. As this happens, Merle sort of breaks away and looks at you and says, "That was awesome."
I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Was that Twisted Sister?
No one rock! Rock! Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'd have to say yes. They're still like dancing their way through the mall, just absolutely going ham on this song.
Why are they here now? Why was there a guy with scissors at the door, not these guys? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm wondering, and you see they look and say, "Why are there laser marks?" And who's that? They point, and you see this like army-looking guy, this tall, jacked, looking kind of oiled up, army-looking dude with a mustache and a little green hat comes running through. He's like, "Where is it? Where is it? Is it here? I can't see it. I can't see it. It's hitting us from the woods." He looks around. He says, "Have you seen anything? The air, have you seen it shimmer?" And points at the pair of you.
I mean, I've been feeling some things that are new. So I guess things have been shimmery.
He's like, "We gotta get out of here. Come with me. I'll keep you safe." He has a giant gun.
Okay, that's the thing. Okay,
No, not a thing. More like a predator. And he's like, come on. I'll keep you safe. And like starts crouching. He crouches and starts looking. There is complete, like, I cannot emphasize enough how much pandemonium is currently happening around the pair of you as you have your like "we can be heroes" kissing in front of the Berlin Wall sort of moment here. It is completely wild. You watch this man walk off into the mall, motioning for you to follow. You do not have to follow him, but then you hear the announcement over the intercom from Libby asking you to please come back to Walden Books.
okay. Normally, Merle, I would totally ignore that, but this is a really weird situation.
Yeah, that looked like Carl Weathers.
I was gonna say the same thing, but like, I don't know, it's kind of lame to know that, you know?
Yeah, only losers watch really popular movies.
Yeah, it's weird. There's not as many people, you know. I like it because there's pretty people, but so like, I'm gonna go back. If you wanted to follow me, that'd be cool. But you know, you do you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they sort of roll up their sleeve and they're like, "You son of a bitch," and try and throw you a predator handshake to try and like basically seal the deal.
Yes, fully. Like, I'm gonna say that Prince doesn't know what's happening, but like instinct just kicks in. Like, I need to grab this hand and just like.
There's like a moment as the two of you grasping, and they like, "I'll follow you back to that bookstore. This feels like fate."
I can't tell if this is a romance or a bromance, but it feels good.
It's why not both? They let go and they're like, "Let's get out of here."
Yeah. And I start
All
heading
right.
back, trying to keep my head cool under all of this.
Okay.
I don't care what I have to do. These two need to remain alive and make it through this. The two, like, I'm so pretty. I'm just concerned about pretty. Have had the most wholesome little relationship, and I need them to survive.
As you are sneaking through here, I need you to roll me a flight check.
Got a D12. That's pretty good. What am I trying to hit?
You need to hit an 8.
An 8. Okay. Well, rolled off my table. Okay, my dice are just weird because I got like a 19 first, if you remember that. Well, here's another one.
Oh, we have another reroll if you want to use it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's try it. I'm sorry.
All right,
everyone.
this is
I'm
I think
using
our
the
last reroll
resources.
for right now.
Is it?
Do it.
Okay. What do I need to hit?
An 8.
I'm gonna spend one adversity token to make that 7 I got into an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
You managed to hide yourself very well sneaking through all of this. Unfortunately, Merle is not quite so gifted in the ways of the sneak. And as you are walking along, you hear a voice saying, "What a beautiful head! I must have it for my collection." And this woman with kind of wild frizzy hair, wearing a high-backed dress, this black dress, puffy sleeves to the floor, sort of like gliding forward, looks at Merle and says, "Your head, I must have it for my collection." And you can roll me a roll to see if you know who this is. Otherwise, you can just tell me what you'd like to do in response.
Well, I want to see if I can figure out who this is first.
Okay. This is
how
going to be
should I-
brains. This is going to be, and because this movie was not a big hit at the time, I'm going to say this is a brains 9.
Why do you keep giving me things that are impossible? I have a D10 in brains.
If
A
you
D10
explode, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you can do it.
No, the opposite happens. I got
Oh,
another
no.
1.
Oh no! Well, you gain an adversity token. You have no idea who this woman is, but she seems like a real witch. As she comes gliding forward towards Merle. Merle's like, "Okay, honestly, your outfit, if we did a few things, could work. The hair, though, tragic." And you see the woman sort of move her hands, and suddenly Merle's like, "Ah!" And then you see like the bottoms of their shoes start to calcify and turn to stone, and you see the stone moves higher and higher up their shoes. Right now, you think it's only affecting maybe the shoes and maybe the soles of their feet, but you can intervene if you wish.
Okay, perfect. I think this is just like, oh no. I met the love of my life at the mall and everything went wrong. This is why I don't go out. Okay. He walks up to whoever this woman is, like, "Yo, leave them alone, because I got the prettiest of all heads. So, like, you're making a big mistake."
Roll a charm roll to convince her to go after you instead.
Yeah, that's a D20 at least. You know, I got
Yeah.
something down there.
Yeah, I'll say this is a 6. You only got to hit a 6.
Just only make me do charm rolls. That's a 13.
She turns and says, "You're right." Sort of like snaps her fingers. You hear Merle sort of drop down with sort of a clunk as their now stone shoes hit the fake marble floor. And she turns to you and says, "By the powers of the Gnome King, calcify!" And tries to cast magic on you as well. I'm going to need you to roll a grit roll to resist this.
It's a D4.
Oh boy. Okay, well, unfortunately, you need to hit a 10 in order to successfully resist this. You might need to explode. No?
Even if I spend both my tokens,
Oh no.
I can't. I'm sorry, everyone. I made a life choice, and now my feet are stone.
You feel the bottom of your shoes becomes incredibly heavy as you are lifted off the ground, and you can feel the effect starting to move up. You feel yourself just losing feeling in the soles of your feet as we cut away. And I think that's as good a time as any to go to break. Everyone, if you would like to save these people or make things even harder for them, you can there's a whole array of humans you can get, including Ellen Ripley. You could get what's somebody we already mentioned? Oh, we can get some Star Wars people. in there. We can get some people from other fairy tales in there. There's one person in here who's not from a fairy tale at all, but is a lot of fun. From a famous 80s comedy in here, or if you want, say, a monster. There's a whole range of monsters. We've already glimpsed one of them, but there's a whole range, some from like Jim Henson movies, some from Star Wars, some from other sci-fi properties, some from fantasy movies, a whole range. So please, please, please donate if you want to see these monsters, or if you just want to give somebody a reroll. Give what you can. And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break. So we will see you all at, I believe, 35 past. We're back. Welcome back, everybody, to this stream. Just before we jump back into the second half here, I just want to go back over the rewards. For $10, if you donate, you get a reroll. You can give a reroll to somebody. For $25, you can give somebody an auto success. For $50, you can choose a helpful or harmful human appears. You get to choose whether who they will be. They will be a fictional character, and I will roll to see from my list here who will show up, either helpfully or harmfully. And for $100, you can pick a monster. Again, you choose whether they are harmful or helpful. Some of these creatures are helpful in their worlds usually, but they can be harmful here. And some of these creatures are harmful in their worlds, but they can be helpful here. And again, for every $10 you donate, you are entered to win one of over 40 TTRPG related prizes, like gift cards and dice from Die Hard Dice, TTRPG core books and supplements, dice bags, and more. And finally, I just want to shout out, we have another stream tomorrow. There's going to be the final of to conclude the PCRF streams. There's going to be an Oops All Mimic stream from 5 to 8 p.m. PST. So make sure to stop back for that, because that is going to be a hoot and a half. But before we can get there, we first have to survive the chaos that is currently occurring in this mall. Our guy Prince is currently being turned into stone by a mysterious witch who has appeared here at the mall. There is utter chaos, pandemonium, dogs sleeping with cats, mass hysteria. Or dogs and cats living together, rather, mass hysteria. We are, though, going to leave Prince as he tries to resist, and we're going to join the rest of the group who've just run out of the Walden books into the chaos of the mall. What would you all like to do? You see that this hippo is running off still with the still screaming. You can still screaming Mrs. Milton inside of it. It keeps like sort of flapping its mouth in open and closed, trying to try to hork more of her down, but she's still at the top of her, still just kind of like. And she keeps like sort of popping her head back out in between the chomps. She looks to be relatively unharmed, except emotionally. This thing is like just running off through the mall. What would you like to do?
Is this, just from my own imagination, is this a real hippo that is just like bright orange, or is it a life-size plastic hippo that's trying to...
Yes, it is large. It has a large plastic handle sticking out of its body, but it appears to be made of brightly colored, we say like pastel purple flesh.
Right.
It is running through. So it appears to be a flesh and blood hippo with some kind of plastic apparatus at the back of its head.
Great.
Is Eldritch Horror. We may need to save her because she may be the only one who could undo the thing that she did.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Latin.
I mean, I don't either. I'm just guessing here, and I'm gonna look over at Libby. Are you still holding the stanchion that you picked up?
That was Jesse.
Oh, I'll look over at Jesse. Sorry. Are you the one do you still have the stanchion that you picked up to try to whack something?
Friday, Jesse.
I'm so sorry. I completely missed that prompt. My bad.
No,
you still have
no worries.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can repeat it.
I'm talking. My character's talking very fast. She might have had a lot of sugar before this happened. You had picked up like the big metal beam or something.
Oh yeah. The divider.
Yeah, I'm gonna point at that and go. Can you? You look like someone who could do a thing with that. Can you?
Against that hippo.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sure. Hey, if I don't come back, and then she sets down the divider and then like takes off her varsity jacket and like hands it to you and says, "I want to be buried in this."
I'll take it and like hold it close for a moment, like, oh, I hope I can give this back to you. What can we do to help?
Well,
I got a protein bar. You want a protein bar?
Actually, if you could throw me the protein bar in the middle of the action, and then I can reach up and grab it for that extra boost that I need, that would be great.
I'll do my best.
I'm gonna need I'm gonna need Nyx. I'm gonna need for you to cast a ritual spell to slow down this hippo, because when I tried to jump on it earlier, it was just too greasy. And it's probably from all the children that have been touching it. You know, they don't clean their hands. So, and
You
then
can see large fingerprint smudges on the flesh of this hippo.
and for you, Prince, I'm gonna need for you to
Well,
distract.
Prince isn't
this-
nearby. Prince is elsewhere
Okay.
in the mall. Yeah.
All right.
Trying
Well-
not to be turned into stone currently.
All right then. Tell my story to the divider, and she's gonna attack this hippo.
All right. Let's roll a flight check. Or sorry, not flight, fight. This is definitely going to be a fight. Once again, you are attacking a hungry hippo. But we will say because Libby is giving you a protein bar, that will lower the DC by 2. You only need to hit an 18 now to successfully overpower this hippo. And actually, because you're currently armed, were you armed before?
No.
Because you are now armed, I'm going to lower that another 2, so that lowers it to a 16.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I rolled an 11. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter. So she will bravely charge up and attempt to whack this thing, but you'll hear like her. Go ahead.
Yeah, you hit it, and your implement just snaps, like fully just, like the metal just snaps. It and like the hippo seems largely unperturbed, and as that happens, like as you just you sort of get bowled over by a rush of air as this long white dragon swoops through the air above you and then arcs deeper into the mall. You are blown off of your feet, and all of you lose sight of this hippo. As the people keep running by, more and more things are surrounding, but this large white dragon just arcs off into the distance.
Oh, Jessie's gonna pick herself up and get something.
Oh, I mean,
Libby?
I dreamt of seeing that dragon in real life for like years. I'm just kind of marveling.
I'll hand you back your jacket and just wide-eyed awe, despite the fact that it didn't work. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
It was awesome.
She like looks down to like the broken pole or whatever, and she said, "It's, I don't know, bad construction." She'll toss it like, "It's not my fault." It's not my fault.
You deserve a better implement.
As you throw that, you hear, "Yes, you need a more elegant weapon, a more civilized age." And you watch as a man wearing a full brown cloak just sort of emerges out of nowhere and says, "I saw what you were trying to do just now, and I respect it. You are powerful in the ways of the Force, though you have not yet been trained. Here, take this." And holds out a lightsaber to you, and says, "Be careful. Point that way away from you, or else it'll be bad."
She's gonna like look down the center, like,
No,
Oh.
no.
oh,
Very clear. That end points towards your enemy.
right,
Yes,
Okay.
not towards your friends.
okay. And she's gonna try and like turn it on, and then she's gonna like poke a bookshelf.
you completely eviscerate this bookshelf.
Oh shit.
You hear one of the only employees still in here, like, you just, they're like, "No, that's impossible!" They're like clinging to like a book rack. Just
It was
sobbing
the
as-
clearance section. It's fine.
They just go, no, and they just let go and fall flat on the ground.
You think?
The cloaked
think-
figure says, "May the Force be with you," and slips back into the crowd.
You'd think that people would be a little more amenable for just redecorating the home and garden section.
We're gonna jump back over to Prince. Prince, you are currently in the process of being turned into stone. What I need for you to do is roll me. Now, this process is not going to stop. This is basically how much of you gets turned into stone before the next thing happens. Roll a grit roll.
Oof.
The higher it is, the better. There is no DC.
Established.
You just want to get as high as possible. Is that another one? Now, I think before the game I did say, if people want to, they can lend adversity tokens to other people.
I have one.
Does we have one left? So
I have
and
2.
You have 2.
I
Okay.
have one adversity token if you want it.
I don't want to be stoned, so yes.
Do we have any more
Hey, kids.
rerolls?
I think we've used them all. There may be one left, but I think we may have used. Oh wait, no. I think there was one left. I don't think Friday used it. I think Friday just didn't use the reroll. So we do have one reroll left if you want to use it.
I might as well, right? Like, what's the harm? A 2. We're rolling up.
One by one. A 2 is better than a 1.
Objectively so. Yes.
Yes. So this,
Numbers don't lie.
This stone effect travels up. You feel it travel up your legs. You feel your legs. Your whole body feels heavy. You can no longer feel your legs. Continues traveling up. You see it starting to affect your fingertips as they turn into stone. It's traveling down your arms even as it travels up your torso. But before it gets to your neck, and before it's like all that's left is your neck, it stops at about, we'll say that it stops at about chest height. So you still have working shoulders and chest. Everything else is just kind of stone right now. Before that happens, you hear, "Begone, witch." And suddenly the witch who was doing this to you suddenly, and you see her start to float into the air as she sort of grabs at her throat, and she looks at you, and you see her saying, like, mouthing something dramatic, but you're not sure what, before she is suddenly thrown through a wall into a store. And walking through the mist and smoke of the mall, you see none other than Darth Vader standing before you. He looks you up and down and says, "You there. I seek one who lives on this plane. Will you give me aid, or shall I tear it from your mind?"
You know, is that voice of James Earl Jones? Yeah, I'll help you out.
Darth Vader says, "Very well. I seek a place, a building known as Sunset Horizons Old Folk Home. Do you know it?"
It's like really close to here.
Excellent. And there is one who resides inside. One Mildred Gump.
Okay, you got me there.
You can roll a brains roll to see if you recognize the name Mildred Gump.
Okay, you keep on making me roll things. It's like it's
It
a
is a
game.
TTRPG
Yeah.
after all. Roll a brains roll. See if you
Yeah.
remember Mildred Gump.
I have a 7 on a D8.
Okay, great. I was actually going to say you needed a 6. Congratulations. You remember the name Mildred Gump. Mildred Gump is actually a pretty famous, pretty well-known person around town. She had actually created a line of cookies that ended up getting bought out by Cross Company. She sold them essentially to Cross Company, but a very, very successful line of delicious cookies. They called them Gumpies. That's what the name of the cookies were. And Gumpies are now manufactured by Cross Company. But as somebody who lived in Manus for all these years, she has stayed settled here and now lives basically free of charge in that nursing home, as far as you're aware.
Oh, okay. So Mrs. Grump, yeah, okay.
Gump.
Gump, yeah. She makes the
Yes.
cookies. You want some cookies?
I want more than cookies. That bewitching creature. I sought her affections the last time I was here. I nearly secured them before I was banished. A mistake I shall not make a second time.
I respect the hustle, man. Yeah, let's go. If you, I'm kind of trapped. Also, can you help my?
Yeah, you see that
Friend?
Merle is just sort of like, okay,
Like-
this is honestly, I don't want to be mean. The rock look, it honestly kind of works for you. I'm not saying you should stay this way, but like after this, if you ever want to try this out as an occasional thing, it doesn't entirely not work, you know?
You know, it's giving geologist. I don't know, man.
Exactly. It's giving very committed geologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. And you see Vader says, yes, your ally, I'm not sure what the term would be, your ally shall remain unharmed as long as you continue to aid me. And he makes a fist, and you just rise up into the air again. And he says, very well, direct me towards the gum.
Okay. The exit's this way, and I try to point with my hands stuck at stone.
You just sort of like move, like you just sort of vaguely gesture, and he just sets off through the mall, bringing you floating along with him. So the rest of you, having seen that this Prince, was there anything, Prince, before we cut away? Was there anything that you wanted to do as you are floating along, accompanied by Darth Vader and Merle?
As long as Merle comes with me, I'm for it. You know, if this day has to be this crazy, it might as well get chauffeured by Darth Vader.
Yeah, I'm gonna say actually before we cut away, Merle leans up and is like, "Okay, so I think I have a way out of this. Remember that machine I told you about earlier?
The future machine?
Yeah, it doesn't just let you see the future, so I've heard. I also hear that it lets you change reality."
This sounds like a really big deal. Why isn't everyone wanting this machine?
So only the cool people know about it.
Oh shit, that's why I know about it. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, of course. Say, okay, so keep your eyes out for it. It's kind of hard to miss, but again, it moves around. It's called the Zoltar machine. That's what you need to keep your eyes out for.
Okay.
So it's like got a guy in like a turban, and it says it's Zoltar in big flashing letters. That's yeah.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out.
Another question. Do you mind if, like, this might sound weird, you're floating right now and it's very cool. Do you mind if I hold onto your shoulders and float with you?
Yes, let's do this together. We're
Amazing.
gonna start a whole fucking trend. Everyone's gonna wish they could float like us.
Amazing. I have so many belts with me. They take out like a bunch of belts and just start like lashing themselves to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling like a Final Fantasy character over here.
Yeah, somewhere between a Final Fantasy character and a 90s superhero. You have so many belts, none of which seem to be holding up any clothing. And they sort of like lash themselves to you from behind, so they're just sort of like almost like not really a baby Bjorn, because they're like around your size, but they're just like behind you, sort of tied to you by a bunch of belts, and they're like, this is honestly, I agree with you, new trend. You continue floating through, following Darth Vader. The rest of you now, what would you like to do? There is complete chaos. You can even see that it looks like parts of the mall may have changed. Like, even you can see part of the mall literally looks like the ground turns into metal, and you can see like it seems like the ceiling gets much lower, and you can see corridors heading off. It looks like endlessly. Another part of the mall you can see appears to just have a hedge maze in it, a large hedge maze that has like encroached in the reality of this mall. What would you all like to do? You currently have not seen Prince, and you also don't know. I will say this, Jesse, the direction that the hippo headed in is also the direction that Prince headed in earlier, that you saw Prince go. Friday, Jesse. The direction that you saw, the hippo head in is also the same direction that you saw Prince head in, deeper into the mall.
Okay. So she's gonna want to grab some kind of weapon first. So as I'm looking around, like I'll kind of like leave the bookstore.
Well, you do have a lightsaber. I will throw that. You do currently have a lightsaber.
That's right. Okay. But we need another weapon, don't we? We only have my weapon, my lightsaber. We need another weapon, don't we?
I mean, I'm not gonna swing a weapon necessarily. A shield would be great. Could we find a shield?
Can I have a weapon? I would like a weapon. I don't know what weapon I can wield.
Oh.
I want a weapon.
You wield math, I think, right? Can you
why
do,
not?
Like,
I mean, okay, so give me like a ranged weapon so that I can do the trajectory of the angles of things.
oh, I like
I
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a spot in the mall that would have like BB guns or something? I don't. This is America.
There's
Guns.
there's
right?
a sporting goods store.
It's America
There's
in the
absolutely-
80s.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's absolutely a sporting goods.
Canadian on stream.
Yep.
100%. Not only that, I will also say you did see a weapon, a ranged weapon. You saw Robin Hood was carrying a longbow
Right.
as well. So you could go searching for a sporting goods store, or you could go looking for that handsome fox.
Mm-hmm.
We get back on the PA and call Robin Hood back to the bookstore.
You go running back into the.
He's a gentleman, so he would totally show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What if
you
foxes
you
eat?
absolutely can run back in, step
Tempt him with
over the
some
dead
food.
body of the guy who had gotten chest bursted, and grab the PA and call out to Robin Hood.
Mr. Robin Hood, please return to the Walden books. I have some nuts in exchange for your assistance.
While that is happening, I'm going to turn to Nyx and point at the book and say, we should probably look at that and see if we can figure out what we're supposed to do to fix all this. Because as much as this is really awesome, we should probably fix it before more happens.
Yeah, I'd like to fix it as well. I just have to say, I know my strengths. Okay, I'm honest with myself, and I'm feeling like there's a D4 amount of brains, if that makes any sense to you. I don't know if you play Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm feeling
yeah,
like
of course.
I like polyhedral dice. I like roll maybe a small one and not really a big one. So if we need something, I can like tell you how I think you should pronounce it, but I feel like you should really be the person who's like doing all that. Like I found the book. That doesn't mean the book is mine, if you know what I'm saying.
I wonder if Robin Hood speaks Latin.
Also, because you found the book, you may be the one who has to say it. But you know what? We can put our brains together, because I've had to roll those intelligence saving throws in my game, and yeah, they're real hard. Here, put the book down here, and I'll like shove off a whole bunch of stuff on top of a table at the front of the Walden books where there was like the discount stuff, and go, let's while we're waiting for the really cool looking box to come back, let's see what we can find.
Is there a Latin dictionary in here?
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll a brains roll to try and find a Latin dictionary.
Okay.
I think that I feel like as you're looking for that Latin dictionary and being responsible, what you get from Nyx is just grabbing both of you in really tight and being like, if you tell anybody this, I will deny it with my entire being. But also I'm a Girl Scout, and if you need some help aiming your bow and arrow, I could probably assist you.
Yeah,
We should get you the bow and arrow. Absolutely. No, that is amazing. I only shoot things in the game. I don't shoot things in real life. I just thought math.
You mean like Duck Hunt?
I mean, I have played that a lot. Yeah. That's
Uh,
no. Yeah.
While this conversation is happening, you hear guitar music jangling through, and playing a familiar tune. You hear Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other have to say. Just like a very familiar tune as you see a full-on rooster walk up playing guitar. He looks at, hey, I heard y'all say you were looking for Robin Hood.
Yes, we were. Seen him?
Yeah, he's over there. He's off this way. He's in an archery contest, I think.
He found one, did he?
Yeah. Well, it turns out there's a lot of people here with a lot of weapons that can fire a lot of different things, and they're all taking turns seeing who has the best aim.
Oh, well, I mean, that's where we gotta go then, right? Right after I don't find a Latin dictionary, because I definitely did roll a 1.
Oh, no! You gain an adversity token. As a
Great.
Find a Pig Latin dictionary.
Close enough.
It's one of those bathroom readers.
Listen, I've been studying Elvish in my free time. I'm pretty sure that that's close enough, right?
Oh, yeah, that's totally, yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading the Similarian. It's really hard, but I've been trying. So, okay, are we following the big rooster for weapons and stuff?
I mean, I think so. It's a direction to head in. Feels good.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, should we like make a plan to like get Prince too? Like, where'd he go?
That's a good question.
It's a
Right.
great
We need
question.
as big of a team as possible. We are the A team in this point, and we've lost
On
our
cue.
face.
Almost on cue as you are saying this, you see Darth Vader walk by holding Prince tied to an incredibly attractive person that none of you have really seen before, but you're guessing probably goes to your school. But you also see that Prince appears to be part stone. In fact, mostly stone. Just like floating along. And you just watch Darth Vader holding a fist, a gloved fist as he walks through the mall, looking this way and that.
I mean, he's with Darth Vader. He's probably fine.
Libby is very distressed and is just like racking her brain, but like there's nothing in her bag that can treat that. Like I don't have a first aid kit item for that.
Prince, you also, I'm gonna say, see like your companions, your group members rather, standing like near the mouth of the store.
You guys haven't moved like 10 feet. What's going on? Like, come on,
A
guys.
lot has been going on. Okay.
We're trying. Give us a break.
Jesse is going to grab a trash can lid as their shield.
Hey!
And
From
light.
inside, as you take that away, you see the little green guy look up at you and just shake him. For some reason, he only seems to have one hand most of the time, and he just shakes his hand at you as you run away.
I'll bring it back.
Oh, I
You
need that.
better. Yeah,
And she is gonna stand in front of Darth Vader.
Oh,
Unhand the popular kid.
He turns and say, you hear, "Do you intend to stand between me and my beloved?"
that's not me, by the way. I'm kind of like seeing someone and like tries to gesture.
Is this
Oh,
a
yes. No, my guide and I have, it's not like that. This is
No.
purely
No.
transactional. No.
is this a
Wait.
throuple situation that I just
No.
stumbled into? I didn't.
I explicitly said this is not a thing. I no.
My heart belongs to Granny Gump.
The cookie lady?
Yeah.
My, those cookies. And you get the sense that if Darth Vader had eyebrows, he'd be going. There's sort of an
that's
if you know what I mean vibe to that.
I mean,
Right,
James Earl Jones is awesome enough that he could probably have conveyed eyebrows with his voice.
I wish to sample more of her cookies.
Yeah. Well, you ain't getting that cookie, and like she demonstrates to Fritz, like she doesn't know what to say. She's like, "Was that cool? Was that okay? Great. I'm doing great. All right."
Darth Vader just turns to you and says, "If you stand before me in my way, I will destroy you." And lightsaber ignites as he stands. You see that he sort of lowers his fist, and Prince and Merle lower to the ground behind him.
Oh man, now I'm on the ground.
Jesse like looks at her lightsaber and like kind of like tries to push it a few times and then finally gets it and then like, oh okay, here we go. All right.
Great. Go ahead and roll me a fight roll to fight Darth Vader. Does anyone else want to get involved in this in any way?
Kind of, but in a different way. While they are distracted, now that we've talked about this a little bit, do I see a video game store, like a GameStop nearby anywhere?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes, that there is a video game store near, like if you run past Prince and Merle, the video game store is right behind them, like on the other side, like across from the Walden Books.
I'm desperately looking for the Nintendo section where Final Fantasy would be, and I'm looking to see if there are any soft potions anywhere.
Okay, then this is going to be, under the circumstances, we're going to say a flight roll, where you just run over there and just like, try and find this. We're going to is a 5.
Okay.
All
That
right.
is a 6.
Hey!
Just barely.
So you rush off searching for potions. Darth Vader does not pay you any mind. What about the rest of you? Are any of the rest of you doing anything as Jesse prepares to square off against the Darth Vader?
I want to try and help distract Vader. I have the trait Protective, and I can roll with a +3 if I'm defending my friend. So I want to try and like sort of shove him off balance while Jesse is attacking. If I can manage.
Yeah,
Oh.
you want to like whack him with your goodie bag of
With my
all
backpack.
like.
It's heavy.
Yeah, exactly. He's never felt anything like it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This would be so it's a fight roll, I guess, in this case, to defend your friend +3. And while you're doing that, what is Nyx doing at this point?
Nyx sees that everybody kind of has things like handled, so I think they grab like one of the cloths on like it's like there's people who like sell cosmetics and stuff like out in their booths. So they grab like one of those like cloths off of the little caravan and put it over their head to make like a little cape. And they call out, "Oh, Sir Robin, please come hither to Maid Marian, just here, waiting."
Amazing.
Roll. I'm gonna say roll a charm roll, and I'm gonna say because you specifically name dropped Maid Marian, that's like a 4. You just gotta hit a 4 on charm.
I got an 8 on my 8. 11.
Okay, and finally, Prince. I know that you currently are unable to move, but you still can talk. You still can say things. Or I will say, you if you wanted to like throw yourself at Vader physically, I will say that Merle is down to like roll with whatever. So if you want to like try and whack, like aid Libby and try to knock him off balance, or maybe even damage his machinery, Merle will basically enable you to do that. So you can roll to see if you do that.
I think, yeah, I will try and help with the knocking. Normally, I'm pretty indifferent to the world, but I mean, the dark side's pretty dark, you know?
All right. We will start with Libby. What did you get to successfully to whack Vader?
Okay, so you want to hear something very fun? So I have a D4 in fight, so I did not have high hopes. I did roll a 4.
Yes.
And then I rolled a second 4.
No!
And then I rolled a 2. So it's an 11, a 13.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
With a 13, the Dark Lord of the Sith prepares to square off against your teenage companion. You just run up and clock him in the side of the head with a backpack, and you hear go. The Darth Vader is hurt sound. As
There's a little thermos in
he is
there. It's
thrown off
heavy.
balance entirely by this, and that is going to lower the difficulty for you, Prince. I need a brawn roll. This is normally to throw yourself at him. It would have been a 10. I'm going to say with this and with Merle's help, lowers it by 5. You need to hit a 5 on brawn.
Okay. I got a 4, but I'm going to spend an adversity token to get to a 5.
All right.
Nice.
Describe for me what it looks like as you throw your stony body and clock Lord Vader.
So like the secret of Prince is that he's actually really a big sci-fi nerd. So like as he falls, he's like, "This is for Endor," and just like tackles like his 2 arms. He's trying to like grab onto his waist and pull him down.
So yeah, you hear him like, "Oh no!" and he begins to like you drive him down to a knee, and you feel like you can hear the gears in his body like. He is absolutely vulnerable. What did you get, Jesse, as you charge towards him, lightsaber drawn?
I rolled an 18 and I have the protective trait, which is a +3, so I got a 21. I'll use my adversity token to make it a 22. Because
All right.
So 22 against Vader.
Okay. I'm gonna, just because this is opposed, I'm gonna roll fight for Vader, but Vader has a number. I'm gonna say he gets a -3 from what Libby did, and then another minus, probably 5 from having the body of one teenager and then another teenager, most of whom is stone, currently hanging off of him. So he gets a -8 to whatever he rolls. He has to hit a 22. He rolled a 2. He rolled a 2. Without the minuses, he rolled a 2. Describe for me what happens as you launch yourself towards Darth Vader. You all hear this swell of bum 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 bum. As she steps forward, bum 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 bum. What do you do?
As her lightsaber swings down to clash with Vader's, she's gonna do the dirty lightsaber trick and turn it off, and then go down like 6 inches, and then turn it back on.
Oh my goodness. That's actually a really good strategy. Does it just go through him?
Yeah, so it's a theorized exploit amongst nerds about Star Wars lightsabers that if like you literally were good with swords and you could time it right, once your lightsaber hit and you were in opposed pressure with lightsabers, if you just turn your lightsaber off and then turn it back on, then it'll just go like right through you, because you won't be.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry, that
yeah.
was too deep.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
I was
Love
here
it.
for it.
Where does the lightsaber go through? Like the helmet? Are you?
Just for the chest, yeah. As she gets them, she's gonna say, "You'll never defeat the power of friendship."
You hear immediately the gears, and he drops his lightsaber and sort of leans back. You have defeated Darth Vader. You hear him say, "What? The power of the dark side. I was going to show it to Granny Gump." And you hear his mechanism just struggling to work as he just sort of slumps over. Darth Vader is no more.
Jesse picks up the red lightsaber, and just for a moment you see this this slow zoom on her face. Like she's contemplating.
I'm just gonna take that. I'll take care of that.
Oh right,
Yeah,
okay. All right, yeah.
We were
Right.
told
love
there
it.
was
Back.
another, and there she is.
Yeah, as you take it, you hear faintly bum 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 bum. Just like as you're just looking down at it, you feel a strange power course through you, and you hear in the distance, "Always two there are, a master and an apprentice," and that's it. Jumping over to Nyx, what did you get for your charm roll?
I got
get-
an 11.
Awesome. It is around this time that you all see that same handsome fox come running through. Before I go any further, I want to shout out, say thank you very much for the free for the free reroll that was given. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. He comes running on through and it's like, Maid Marian, this place, it's changed you.
Oh, yes, I have been in much need of a weapon to defend myself. I know that you are skilled, but also I need your bow and arrow. And if you truly love me, you will give it to me without asking any questions.
He says, "Yes, I shall give it to you. May I have one question, though? Just one.
Anything, my love.
Your largely hairless condition, is it because of mange?"
It is just mere stress from being in an unfamiliar location, like when you go to a hotel and can't sleep.
Then
It will grow back 10 times lovelier than before.
he looks at you and says, "Honestly, you're working it." And says, "May I have a single smooch?"
Nick's like blue screens for half a second without really understanding, and then snaps to it. It's like, "You may have whatever you like, beloved. I have kissed you in my dreams many times, but don't tell anyone, because it's weird to have a crush on a fox."
I mean, well, we're sort of a thing. I don't know why. Anyway, grabs you. He throws in a full dip, and then gives a full-on Disney just, and then sets you back up. Kneels and hands you his bow and arrow. Stands up, tips his hat, and says, "Oodalally," and says, "By the way, I'm in the archery contest. If you get a chance, come watch. It's gonna be cool."
Yeah, Nick's in this unusual universe that is around their eyes turn into little cartoon hearts, and they just stand there, dizzy for a second.
Yeah.
And then when they snap out of it, they're ready.
There's this other guy there who's kind of hairless. He also has a bow and arrow. His name's like Ramby or something. I don't know. I'll borrow his. He runs off back into the mall. So you have gained a bow and arrow, and it is at this point that you see that Angela comes running out with a full-on Final Fantasy potion of healing.
And I skid to a stop and kind of take in everything that has happened. I was only gone for like 45 seconds. How did
It
you
was super
kill?
cool.
I missed this all. I'm gonna need to know all about this later. Anyway, I'm gonna rush on over to Prince and holding the potion, realize I've only ever used this in a video game and don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to drink this or if I'm supposed to pour it on the stuff with the stone.
Drink is usually like
Okay.
medicine. You know, like Tylenol, like the stuff. It tastes bad, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, oof, it puts me to sleep. Okay, all right. Open wide, and if you'll let her, she will pour the potion into your mouth.
If not, he's just stuck on dead Darth Vader's waist. So yes.
And if there's any left over, I will also administer to the attractive person that he is tied to.
They look up and they say, "Oh, I'll take a little bit." You know, if the cool people are doing it. They drink whatever is left over, but within seconds, Prince, you feel your entire body. You're back at full.
Ooh. Oh man. Okay. Thank you for that. That's really that was cool of you to think of me and Merle and oh yeah, this is Merle, everyone.
Hi, Merle.
Hi. You may not know me. I'm literally too cool for school.
Hey, Merle.
Yeah.
I know we just met and everything, but I got a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, so I got this new power and I just wanted to try it on somebody, and it felt wrong to try it on my friends, but since we just met, would it be okay if I tried it on you?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm here for it.
Just like,
Just guess who's gonna try a force choke.
This better not awaken anything in me.
Merle's like,
All right, I
eyes
was just
rolling
checking.
back up.
Sorry.
Huh.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do it that rough.
Yeah, that was rougher than I'd prefer.
Do you need an ice pack?
If you have one, please.
Yeah, I
Ice
have
packs
several.
are really cool.
There you go.
They take it and put it around their shoulders. They sort of like wrap it around their neck. And they're like, "So we're still belted together. I'm gonna undo these." And they start undoing the belts.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's I didn't even notice.
I'm just gonna slowly turn to Nick, still holding the empty potion bottle in my hand, and lock eyes with them and say, I have changed my mind. I don't know if I actually want to fix any of this. This is the coolest ever.
Yeah,
I hear you, Angela, but I mean, it's all fun and games until, Predator shows up.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
hunt
that's
with
the
deep
point.
seeking vision.
It is at this point that you notice that there is like water running across, like it seems to be like pooling out over the surface of the mall, and wherever the water goes, it seems to deepen. It starts as a puddle, but then the further it goes, you see it's as though the parts of the mall are literally turning into what can only be described as a swamp. And this swamp continues to spread out, and with it spreads a melancholy, a profound melancholy.
Absolutely.
One might even say that this is a swamp of sadness.
Okay, but there are no horses around, right? Like,
You
get
do
out!
hear a distant neighing sound.
No. Okay, we need to go. We gotta go.
Changed my mind. We need to fix all of this
Yes.
right now.
right now.
Right now.
Jesse's coming out of the Sports Authority with like a canoe. Hey y'all, I've been in the swamp before. Like, this ain't no big deal. Just grab a paddle.
Listen, we saw that dragon before. I've never seen that really lame movie, so I don't know the dragon's name. I think it begins like with an F or something.
Oh yeah,
like...
Falcor. Real cool.
That's the one.
Not,
Yeah.
Probably
Y'all
not a
saw
real dragon.
Falcor?
Yeah.
You know who Falcor is?
Don't you?
I've seen movies.
Hey, can we all just cut the crap? We've all seen Neverending Story. Like, everyone has seen Neverending Story. We don't need to pretend to be cool. This is life or death.
All right, fine. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Listen,
Falcor.
tomorrow
we
we'll go
saw
back to
Falcor.
pretending. But for now, can we just all admit it?
That's fine. I do enjoy that movie.
Of course you do. You'd be bonkers not to.
Ugh, can we just find that amazing dragon? Maybe he will help lift us out of here or something. We need to find a safe space so we can read from this book.
You see that you see that the swamp has basically filled the area where you were about to head to. So the canoe that Jesse got is going to be like, you may need, if you want to head in that direction, you're likely going to need to sail over the Swamp of Sadness.
All right, keep your eyes out for a really big turtle, like the biggest turtle you have ever seen.
Okay. Let's get in this canoe.
Yeah.
All right. As you get into the canoe, you can see Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence just absolutely fighting it out, like on the shoreline nearby. You can see you watch as a mouse wearing a deer stalker hat hops onto like a little thimble, accompanied by a much pudgier mouse, and they also begin rowing across. The mouse points off and squeaks something. You're sure it has something to do with the game being afoot, but they sort of sail off alongside you. You do not see Falcor anywhere nearby, but you could see him again if we donate because he's on the list. You absolutely are able to like row out onto this swamp. But the problem is, it is in fact a swamp of sadness, and so I'm going to say the tissues and the general moral support from Libby just being here is going to lower the DC for everybody, but I'm going to need grit rolls from all of you as you begin to row across the swamp of sadness.
Okay.
This is going to be, we're going to start things at a 5.
Can I have the +3 from my protective trait?
You know what? I'll let you donate the +3 to somebody else.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Who has the lowest grit? Who's having the roughest times that I can see in the swamp of sadness?
I would say me normally, but I just exploded. So
Hey!
so I got a 4 + 3 is 7. I do maths.
Nice.
Yes!
Is anyone currently struggling?
I managed to roll an 8 on a D10, so I'm okay.
Great.
I got a 1
Okay.
on a D6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We know who we're helping.
Remind
I
me.
have an adversity token I can gift you, as well as the +3.
I
need
didn't
one more,
spend.
right?
Logan, did you spend that +1? That adversity token I gave you before, or did
Nope.
you just get the reroll?
Nope. I just took the reroll.
Okay, so I actually have an additional +1.
Actually,
Which-
with if I give you an adversity token and +3, you already have 5, right? Because you did a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That works. That gets you to 5.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. I
Which
just
stat
rolled
is
my
this?
D20 where I cannot see it.
And is Jesse also okay?
Yeah, which stat is it?
This is grit.
Grit. Okay. All right.
This is not grit to not feel sad. This is
Oh
grit
my
to just
God.
push through the sadness. The sadness is inevitable with this swamp.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that feels real.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
The number on my PDF is like teeny tiny, so I just zoom way in. Okay, there we go. Okay. My bad, y'all. Yeah, 1.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Do
I'm all out of
we
health.
have enough? That would take us 4 adversity tokens. Do we have enough, or are you just gonna have to take an adversity token here?
We have a reroll, don't we?
I have.
Oh, we do
one
have a reroll.
adversity token.
We have a reroll. Do you want to use the reroll?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I will do that. Here we go. 8.
Hey!
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the donation. So that means that all of you pass. You are just able to sail over this gloomy swamp, just canoeing along. You see that a number of the formerly fictional characters seem to have settled in as well. You see a very sad version of "I wanna rock, rock." And they're just sort of like holding themselves, rocking back and forth. I want to rock, rock. They're just sort of comforting each other as Twisted Sister sits on like a little island in the middle of it. You also see the kids from Footloose just doing a very sad dance by themselves. You, as you're going along, see that you hear that same neighing again, a very sad neigh sound, and you see in the distance a horse, a very familiar horse, who looks as though it's on the verge of giving up. But at that very moment, a woman strides into view. A woman carrying a shield with a horse on it. An insignia that I think Angela would immediately recognize as someone who is reading the Silmarillion. You see this is the emblem of Rohan, as this woman walks over and she says, now, your time has not yet come. Join me. We shall turn the tide against these horrors. And you watch as Eowyn pulls Artax out of the swamp and rides him off deeper into the mall.
I think Angela had been trying to use the power of hyperfocus to like concentrate on the book, and that's the moment that she gets distracted and looks away and goes, "Oh, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be totally okay. No, that's no, we're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine." Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to see Eowyn again, she's also a character that you can roll for. She rides off on Artax into the distance. You all, though, with your successful rolls, you manage to make it across to the other side of the Swamp of Sadness, where now you see that that same hedge maze that I mentioned seems to have spread, and you arrive at the entrance to this tall, strangely cold, snow-piled hedge maze.
How tall are the walls of the maze?
So tall that you can't see above them.
But like, how much taller than us? Like, are they several feet? Are they 20 feet? Like,
solid like 20 feet. They're big. It's a big hedge maze.
But it's a hedge maze, right?
Yeah, it's a hedge maze.
So like,
lightsaber.
Yeah, nothing to a lightsaber.
Yeah, no, you can cut through it.
I was also going to suggest if anybody's really good at singing, to start singing some songs. You'll probably call him, right?
I know Wheels on the Bus.
No, not that song. No. Oh, it's been forever since I've seen that movie. Oh.
If you know who Angela is talking about, they're on the list as well. Just saying, if you want to see him on the monster list specifically, he is there. If you would like to be reminded of the babe, the option is there for you. You see this maze stretching in front of you. You see in the snow that has gathered, there are what appear to be hippopotamus tracks.
Well, does someone want to use this red lightsaber? Because I don't know, I saw a look in Jessie's eyes, and it doesn't seem like a good idea to give it to her, but I also don't want to use a big knife, so anyone else?
I'd surely be fine with it.
I trust you. The pointy end is out.
They seemed really eager about that.
Nyx, you as you feel that lightsaber, you also hear you hear the Emperor theme, I would say, as you take it. That same thing I was saying earlier. And you feel power coursing through you as you wield both the bow and arrow of Robin Hood and Darth Vader's red lightsaber.
I feel like Nyx like looks at all of the other kids and like looks down and is like, fuck, I know which one they expect me to choose, and I know the one that I want to choose. You know what? Prince admitted to watching Neverending Story today. I can do the right thing. And I think she throws down the lightsaber in this very epic way and like brandishes the bow and arrow and is like, I choose the power of good.
Okay, but the power of good won't cut through the hedge maze.
Well, we have the power of good already, and I'm going to point over at Jessie.
Yeah, Jessie
okay,
still
that's
got
fair.
the blue lightsaber.
Okay, Jessie.
She stares
Yeah.
at him, grabs the lightsaber, then goes for it. Cool.
Yeah, you have the red lightsaber. The music starts back
Thanks,
up.
guys.
Amazing.
Yes, you embrace the dark side definitively. Do you go ahead and start cutting through the maze?
Oh yeah.
All right. Both Jesse and Nyx just start hacking through this hedge maze. At one point, you see Rocky has found Carl Weathers' character from Predator, and they're having a very intense argument about what they're supposed to like. It looks like Rocky has punched him in the face, and they're just having a very intense argument about what's actually going on right now. You see, as you walk along, you see what appears to be a crashed F-16 just smoking. As a guy, you see Tom Cruise pulling himself out. Flips open, like takes off his helmet. He's like, I felt the need for speed, and just goes crawling off through the hedge maze. You also from behind you, you hear, Daddy boy, and see that same guy in the jacket with the axe running up towards you, just like foaming at the mouth, eyes looking wild, jaw held at a weird angle, brandishing this axe. And he's like, "Dang, it's her old dad!" and just charges towards you all.
I've seen that movie with the kids I babysit. I had to shut it off. It was too scary. It's not good. Run. Just run. Run away.
Nyx takes a power stance and is like, "Not today, Jack. Not today."
You know what? Yeah, go ahead, Jesse.
Jesse's got a D4 in flight, so she looks over at Nyx, like kind of impressed. It's like, oh, I should be doing this with my lightsaber too.
So the pair of you square off against Danny Torrance as he charges towards you, and slithering around the side of the hedge maze, you see a very large, what appears to be an incredibly large, impossibly large Venus flytrap that sort of slithers his head around and says, "Feed me."
Does it have to be human?
Has full-on teeth. It is a Venus flytrap that seems to have detected that you all are there. It says, "Feed me," and licks its planty lips, looking at all of you. As Aubrey 2 and Jack Torrance square off against the gang. I'm gonna need fight rolls from Nyx and from Jesse, and then I'm gonna need to know which of you, which of these people you two are fighting. Or which two of these entities, rather, as well as the rest of you. What are you doing during this? We'll start with Jesse. Who are you fighting? Are you fighting Jack Torrance as he charges you, or are you fighting Aubrey 2?
Aubrey's the plant, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was a theater kid, but I wasn't,
Maybe not a musical theater kid.
Yeah, I wasn't a musical theater kid. I was a non-musical theater kid. But anyway, yeah.
Two different breeds of theater kid.
Yeah, I will fight. Jesse will fight the Venus like that.
Okay, awesome. Roll me a fight roll. Does that mean that Nyx is going after Jack? All right. Let's see if you can make Jack a dull boy. Go ahead and roll a fight roll there. What about the rest of you? As this fight is going on, are you just staying put, or are you running away, trying to find the hippo and Mrs. Milton?
I mean, I could feed Aubrey too. I got lots of food, but not what she's looking for.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna be like, Seymour went that way, and just point the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
And see if I can convince her to go the other way.
We will say, in this case, what's something we haven't rolled? We've rolled everything. Roll, I will say, a flight roll to just try and distract her long enough to give a nice opening for Jessie as she charges in with her lightsaber drawn.
Okay.
And then while you're doing that, what is Angela doing?
So I think Angela was a musical kid, and so seeing Audrey and hearing that Seymour went that way, she's going to start to think about who would she call in an emergency? Because if Rick Moranis is here somewhere, then the Ghostbusters have got to be here somewhere. And she's gonna start singing that song from the Ghostbusters scene, hoping that the Ghostbusters show up.
There is absolutely something weird in your neighborhood, so I think it is very appropriate. We will say also roll a flight roll to try and summon the Ghostbusters here.
Okay.
To help you. And then that brings us to Prince. Prince, what are you doing while this is happening?
I think what Prince is gonna do is he's surveying the situation. His investment in this is just survival. And he just this works on the kids at school. And he looks at Jack and he says, "Hey, flannels last season. You look lame."
That's oh my goodness. I think charm is your highest skill, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna say charm to just utterly read Jack Torrance and destroy any sense of self-esteem he has. Yeah. Okay, so starting with we're gonna start with Libby. What did you get to distract Aubrey to?
Well, I rolled a 6 and I have a +1 to flight, so it's a 7.
Okay, and you're also defending somebody, so that's another +3, right?
Then it's 10.
Okay, with a 10, Aubrey definitely is like, Seymour? And turns her head. That then leads us to Jesse. Jesse, what did you get on your fight roll?
I got a 20.
All right, yeah, I'm not even. That means wait, you roll on a d20? That means it explodes. That means you get to roll again.
Oh,
you get to roll. Yeah,
okay.
You got more than a 20.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And 11, so 31.
Yeah. You describe for me what happens to Aubrey. There's no way she's hitting 31.
I don't think Jesse's not super skilled with the lightsaber. It's literally her first time using it. She trips on something on her way, and she just goes for a full lunge into the mouth of the Venus flytrap, and cuts through it, and then pops out the other side, and it's oh, she's just covered in guts and stuff, and she's got it.
All this chlorophyll and then the contents of whatever Aubrey had been eating, just covering Jesse. That's wonderful. Then that brings us to, I believe that's going to be Prince. What did you get on your charm roll?
I got a 9.
Okay, a 9. Do you have any adversity tokens to make that a 10?
I have 1, so I could make it a 10.
Because you need to hit a 10.
Well, then let's make it a 10.
All right. Jack is charging forward, going, and starts hacking away at his jacket, and leaving himself wide open to an attack from Nyx. Nyx, what did you get on your fight roll?
I got an 8 + 1, so a 9.
Okay, normally you'd have to hit a 10. I'm going to say that with this, the DC has been lowered by 2, which means that's describe for me what happens as you charge towards Jack Torrance, having been driven mad by the power of the Overlook, and you with the power of the dark side coursing through you and your red lightsaber extended.
I think as I'm running toward him and he's hacking at the shirt, Nyx for a split second thinks, it's really not fair to attack somebody who's caught totally unawares, and then the lightsaber just kind of is what are you talking about? It's totally fine. He deserves this, right? And I'm
Damn it.
And I just run through. I just get them from the side, and then I try to do a cool move and probably almost chop my leg off, and drop it, and then pick it up real quick and hope nobody noticed.
Roll a flight roll to see if anybody noticed.
That's my best stat. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
4. Everyone saw it.
Unfortunately, that's not good enough. Everyone saw you just absolutely eviscerate Jack Torrance, and also speak to your lightsaber briefly, and then drop it, and then hurriedly pick it up. Jack Torrance is ribbons, lying on the ground. Yeah, you feel the power.
I tried to do a cool pose though, to get back on that horse.
Awesome. So you have dispatched Aubrey 2 and Jack Torrance. That brings us to Angela. Angela, you tried to summon the Ghostbusters. What was your role?
So Angela's also wearing flannel, which is probably why she only rolled a 6. Because she heard Prince call out about flannel and was like, oh.
If we can get you to a 10, then you will succeed. Do we have enough adversity tokens to get Angela to a 10?
I have 2, and I would like to tell Angela that I heard in Seattle there's going to be a moment soon where flannel is totally in, and she shouldn't worry.
Oh, I like Seattle. I've always wanted to go there.
You should. You'd be a trendsetter.
Wafting through from Seattle here. Come as you are, as you were. Just like,
you know, you were listening some really cool music earlier, and I wanted to ask about that, but then we got really distracted by everything that was going on, so we should talk about that later.
Yes? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I have so much to say to you.
Does that get us close enough? Because if I can just get Egon, that would be enough.
Oh, that would solve all your problems.
So
if I can only get one of them.
Yeah, so I believe that gave you 2. Jesse, did you say you had 1 or 2 that you could give?
I have 1.
Okay, so that's 3. That gets us to a 9. We need 1 more. Does anyone else have an adversity token?
I don't.
No, I used it.
Well, then here's what I'll say. You do not manage to summon Egon. Instead, you summon Slimer. And you see whipping around the corner, just this big green ghost floating there. It flies up and just licks you in the face, and you're just covered in slime. And just sort of looks around at the group, and also rounding the corner, wearing full-on fishnet tights, high heels, a corset, black curly hair, all akimbo, and makeup pitch perfect, even in all this chaos. You hear, "How do you do? I see you met my faithful handyman." And Dr. Frankenfurter walks up and somehow leans on an incorporeal being, and poses next to Slimer.
Okay, that wasn't what I was hoping for, but close enough. You're a doctor, right? You gotta speak Latin, and I'm gonna grab the book that Nyx, in all of their glory as they were protecting us, probably just put down gently, and hold it up to the page and be like, Latin? Any Latin? Anything?
Oh, sweetie, I can speak in tongues all day. And they take the tome.
Angela's 15, and so she doesn't quite understand the subtext.
Yeah. The others, though, Merle's like, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pat Angela on the head gently. You'll understand when you're older.
It's been a day.
You see that he looks through the book and says, I see. These are spells. You cast a spell on all of us, didn't you?
Well, not me. Our teacher did. So we got to reverse it.
Oh, naughty girl. Starts looking through. Well,
I've been very good this year.
What's a spell that could set right what has been set wrong by a very naughty little teacher? They looks down the page, flips the page. Here we are. To banish. And you see Dr. Frankenfurter looks up at all of you and says, are you sure this is what you want? I see.
Pretty sure.
This will send back everyone, you understand, who shouldn't normally be in this tawdry realm.
Angela's starting to feel things she's never felt before, and now is thinking twice about banishing everybody, and just sits there.
Dr. Frankfurter looks at the rest of you.
Yeah, I'm with Angela. I feel like perhaps you would be a strong spiritual leader for me. So I'm just going to sit back and...
Is there like an addendum we can put in there? I don't like sometimes in my babysitting contracts, there's like a rule about like, snacks after bedtime or whatever. Like, can we just like put an addendum about like keeping certain individuals?
Oh. An amendment to the incantation. Go ahead and roll. I will say a group charm roll. You can designate one person who would like to convince Dr. Frankenfurter to find an alternate, or perhaps even use his own expertise to alter the spell.
Okay, we all have +3 to persuade adults.
Oh,
Is
that's
it
true.
teenagers?
Yeah.
Also, I'm assuming that we're giving this to Prince.
I
Logan.
mean,
I got a 20.
I now
have a 12.
have an adversity token, and I have loyal, which means when I give you an adversity token, you actually get +2 instead of +1.
heck
So,
yeah.
You can have
Okay.
mine.
I'll roll it. We'll see how this goes. Oh
How
boy.
does the group roll work?
How does this in this particular case you have designated this one person, and I will allow you each to essentially supply the equivalent of an adversity token in describing how you help with the persuasion. So in this case, because Prince is the one making the persuasive thing, you'll have to describe for me what you do, but the rest of you can each describe how you help with the process. So let's start with those of you who are helping, and then we'll describe Prince. What you do. So since we started with you, Angela, since you were the first one to have second thoughts, how does Angela help try and convince Dr. Frankenfurter not to send everyone back?
I think there was that initial moment in where everything just flew over her head, and now a few things are starting to sink in, and like Nyx before, there are heart eyes, and she just looks adoringly at him.
That's actually how he laughs. He goes, go ahead. What is Nyx doing in this case?
Nyx can't speak. Their mind is like totally blank, so they just like do a terror-filled version of the time warp, hoping that their dance moves will be impressive enough.
Hands on the hips, just doing the full
Yeah.
thing silently.
Yes. No music, doesn't hum. Just
As you do it, 15 brightly dressed people leap out of nowhere and start silently doing it with you.
yes.
That is going to be Libby. What do you do to try and convince Dr. Frankenfurter?
I mean, I think I suggested the comparing to my babysitting contracts, but I can pop out some like snacks, some of like my good snacks from the bottom of the backpack for like when you really need to convince a kid to sit still. So it's like milk duds, I think. I'm like, listen, if you stay here, we have great snacks, and offer those.
I hope you don't mind if I pop these into my mouth. I wouldn't want them to melt and get all over my hands.
Would prefer it.
He just very slowly slides the milk dud past his lips while maintaining eye contact with you. And then like licks each of his fingers very sensuously. That brings us to Jesse. What are you doing to try and convince Dr. Frankenfurter to only send certain fictional characters back?
Jesse's gonna I think Jessie is not actually helping with this. She's looking for a payphone because she's weirded out by the fact that middle-aged Tim Curry is hitting on everybody. And we're all high schoolers, so she's
Middle-aged,
like,
it's like early, this is like late
Jen.
20s Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 70s Tim Curry.
Sleek and young.
we're all
Yeah, live with hair in all the right places.
Still 100% a valid thing for someone to be thinking, though.
Right.
Like,
Fair enough. Yeah.
So she's
Safety first.
Yes.
she's like
He is someone who does
she's
not
like holding up a
discriminate.
finger if she's like on the phone.
You stay right there, sir.
Honestly, the fact that he's being blatantly ignored intrigues him. So we'll say that is also. He just goes, looking over at you. What's your whole thing? So,
Playing hard to get.
Prince, what do you do or say to Dr. Frankenfurter to try and convince him to only send back the ones that you want to be sent back?
I think Prince is going to use his ultimate weapon, his parents' money.
Oh!
And he whips out a checkbook and
Oh
goes,
god.
name it. I'll need it.
Okay. go ahead and roll charm roll. This is going to be, I'm going to say this is a DC 15, and you have a +4 because everyone else has given you a +1. So you have a +4 to this roll. Plus whatever adversity.
Rebellious.
I'm
Oh yeah,
rebellious.
plus, yeah.
And
Very
my
true.
adversity token is a +2 because of loyal.
Very true. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Will that zoom? Will that zoom?
Oh, it did. It did.
Oh!
And
roll
it
again,
explodes?
It explodes. Not another explosion, but a 19.
Whoa!
I got a 39.
A 39 plus, what is that? 4 plus another 1 because of Angela plus another how many? Because you're a kid arguing with, or trying to convince an adult? Plus another
3.
2? Another 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another 7. So that is a 46.
Once again, we find the ultimate evil to be capitalism.
Yeah. Dr. Frankenfurter steps forward and says, "Darling, don't dream it. Be it." And looks down at the page and pronounces, "Mito poetica ingenia et mundus retro praeter quos volumos." And then repeats that 2 more times, each time somehow growing more sensual in the pronouncing of this Latin. And by the third one, you once again hear that deep, bassy sound come in, echoing what he says.
It's like an entire audience of people are saying it in unison, like they're responding to him.
Exactly. In fact, at one point, he doesn't say anything, and you hear other people yell it back, and he says, and then continues. And with the third time, you see the hedge maze begins to sink down out of sight. The lights come back up. You watch as Tom Cruise, who has just been like dragging himself away, Maverick been trying to escape, with the badly burned body just disappears. The F-16 gone. The mall trashed, but you see lying on the ground the largely unharmed but looking very frazzled form of Mrs. Milton. And before you are able to reach her, you see another woman come running forward. Because you see, this was such a big operation that all of the teachers had to chaperone. And you watch as Mrs. Milton's wife comes running over to her and says, "Oh, honey, I was so worried for you." And she looks up and says, "Baby, you came." She says, "I would never have left you behind." And as she holds her, she kisses. She leans down and they kiss. And behind them you hear, "Oh, what a rock! Rock!" As his sister just starts going for it. As one of the ones who got to stay. As we sort of wrap this up, each of you just very, very quickly say what your character did and name a fictional character that you would have liked to stay so that you could hang out with them. We will go in the order that we started with, which we're going to start with Libby. Libby, who would you like? What do you go from here? Which name a fictional character that you'd like to come and be with you in some capacity?
I mean, I feel like everyone's gonna be upset, or maybe we'll just all hang together, but definitely Falcor, right? Like, I want to have a nap snuggled up in Falcor's, like, rolls? I don't know how you describe that.
Coils?
For
He's
sure,
kinda
coils,
long.
yeah, that feels right. Yeah.
All right. Falcor, the luck dragon, we'll say that like lives at your house, just like out back, and you can snuggle with him whenever you wish.
That's the
Absolutely.
best. The babysitting kids love it.
Yeah.
Like, I get paid big bucks now for babysitting.
And if it's being bad, he just sort of rumbles at them, and they immediately turn it around. Immediately turn it around. Okay, Angela, which fictional character do you choose?
So Angela manages to take the book and go find a comic book store because she is pretty convinced there's going to be a tall, beautiful woman in a very nice fitting tuxedo with a top hat who knows how to speak backwards that she could learn how to use this book from.
Absolutely. You find her. She's already there. She knew you were coming. You're not sure how, but she did.
Teach me your ways.
She says, "Darling, you already know them. And she snaps, and you feel magic awaken within you. And for the rest of your time at the school, she just apprentices you, and you go off on adventures. Jesse, what fictional character would you like to come and be with you?
Well, I'm gonna say a character that has not appeared in this game, but Wesley from The Princess Bride, probably.
Wesley was an
Oh.
option. No joke.
Okay.
Wesley was on the list.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
absolutely. No. That's awesome.
Can you do me like a little bit of fan service, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Can you say "as you wish"?
I think the moment that you ask Wesley to just come hang out for the first time, he looks at you and says, "As you wish."
Oh my God. Okay,
And the music. Ba-da-da-da.
That's all
Just,
I
like, kicks
wanted.
back. Yeah. You see Buttercup like throw down something like and stomp off as Leslie throws you on the back of his steed, still dressed as a Dread Pirate Roberts, of course. And
Yeah.
you ride off to wrestling practice. He's a gifted wrestler, you know. He took down Pheasant.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. Prince. Actually, no. We're gonna go before Prince. Nix. Who do you choose?
Is Bigfoot there?
So, yes, he is. I think that as things clear, you watch a figure in a trench coat, a weirdly large figure in a trench coat wearing a hat with sunglasses, trying to sneak out of the mall. And you spy those giant simian feet extending out from under as Bigfoot tries to sneak out of the mall.
You're not gonna get it again. My brother lives in Philadelphia because of you, you giant creature. You're coming home with me. You're gonna tell the town about yourself. And don't worry about it. Like, you've got like this awesome statue. Have you seen the statue they erected? Like, it's really pretty innovative when you think about it, because like recycling is like kind of new right now, and we're trying to do it with art, and it's pretty impressive. I think pretty progressive city. So you should stay here so that my brother can come home.
Oh. Okay. You get the sense that Bigfoot didn't understand most of that, but he got the sentiments. And Bigfoot follows you home, and you can send him off to Philadelphia to be with your brother, just to prove it. Yeah. Absolutely. And finally, Prince. Which fictional character do you choose? And also, I'm curious, what happens between you and Merle?
Okay, this is what's gonna happen. Is I'm going to find Tron because I know he's around here somewhere, and I'm gonna have Tron come by, and as he arrives, he's like, "I just want the bike," and we are gonna ride off into the sunset together.
Yeah.
So Merle and I will get on the light bike. Are they called light bikes? I think they are.
I think they're called light bikes. Yeah.
Yep.
Life cycle.
Yep.
Light cycle. Yeah. That's
Yes. And I'm like, let's go, and zoom out of the mall into the sunset.
I want to rock! And as the credits start to play over this, that's beautiful. Meanwhile, we will say that Robin Hood and Dr. Frankenfurter, as well as several other characters that you met along the way, all do stick around in little menus just to make things that much bit more exciting. Thank you all so much for joining us for this. This was a blast. Before we go, I very quickly want to shout out once more. Tomorrow, there is going to be the final stream of this series of streams raising funds for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, PCRF. Tomorrow from 5 to 8 PST, there's going to be an Oops All Mimics D&D stream. So absolutely tune in for that, because it's going to be epic, and I'm sure hilarious. But thank you all so much for joining us. Does everybody want to very quickly shout out who they are one more time? I'm Jeremy Cobb, pronouns he, him. You can find me all over the place. Just go to Twitter and type in Jeremy Cobb, and I might come up. Or 3 Black Halflings. I'll probably appear. Anyone else want to shout out where folks can find him real quick? We'll go in reverse order, starting with Logan.
Hi, I'm Logan, also known as Logan the GM. You can find me on the internet at most places as Logan the GM. I do podcast, I do tabletop stuff. I'm writing a D&D adventure right now. Technically, the first draft is done, so it's hanging out somewhere with an editor. But yeah, I do all kinds of fun stuff on the internet.
Awesome. Candace.
Hello, I have been Candace Magnificent. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace Magnificent pretty much everywhere else, including Itch, where I just released my first Choose Your Own Adventure game. You can see me across the internet doing pretty much this and voice acting, so hit me up if you're interested in collabing.
Epic. Friday.
Hi. Yeah, my name's Friday. You can find me on dollarsanddragons.com. So,
All right,
place
succinct
for all my
to the
stuff,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban, she, her. You should follow all these awesome people. They do awesome things and are amazing. Thank you to everybody who was in the chat and who donated and who spread the word and everything. And if you were not able to donate, listen, you were here supporting us. You were here supporting other people who are donating. You can still go ahead and retweet and repost the game for tomorrow, because not everyone has the money to donate. But you might be the person who can spread the word about tomorrow's game to get somebody who can. So thank you to everybody here, and I had a blast.
Awesome. And finally, Leah.
I'm Leah. I am on all the socials at Greenleaf Geek, and my website is greenleafgeek.com. From there, you can find the most recent crowdfund that I did, which was for UV activated glowing dice, which are pretty cool. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And I just want to quickly echo what Lauren said. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us. Thank you to those who donated. And thank you even for those who were unable to donate for just stopping by and spreading the word, because really every little bit helps. It's ultimately for the cause. And so any bit of getting the word out there for people who can donate, any dollars that you are able to give help immensely. Thank you all so much. And thank you so much to Jess for organizing this. Yeah, I think we outie.